just want to say that I'm so sorry. Only people are getting attacked. The children. They don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know.
Nope, you sure can't. As of course, talk about crocodile tears. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of thebestpoliticalshow.com, and we are going to be going live for the next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We don't know how long we're gonna go for, as of course, there's a lot of absolutely crazy, wild, and insane news to get into today, as we're going to be doing something different with Gary, GG33. We're going to be doing readings. We're going to be talking about numerology. We're going to be talking about deeper down the rabbit hole conspiracies, and, of course, all the latest news that's developing right now as the Trump administration is unleashed. And they are on a tear, firing a whole bunch of people and stopping condom shipments to Gaza. What in the world is really going on here? Well, we're going to be doing our best to try to answer that and a lot more, all here during this exclusive live broadcast with, of course, GG33. Gary, for the people who might not know you, who are you and how would you introduce yourself?
I'm the Michael Jordan of what I do. It's that simple, man. You know, you have to understand in life, there's going to be people who are good thinkers, good doers, good talkers. You have a lot of people who are really good at what they do, but there's gonna be few people who understand what it's like to be at that pinnacle. And that's what I am when it comes to numerology and astrology. I basically put it on the map because no matter what, I don't care if you believe in it, don't believe in it, you probably heard who I am. You've probably been pissed off by me before. And trust me, I'm gonna keep trying to get that same energy from you guys in the future, so.
Yeah, I've been hanging around Gary for a couple of months now. You always surprise me. There's always something you kind of bring forward and you highlight and you kind of bring up and you're like, hey, let me explain how this works from a totally different perspective than I think anybody else has ever explained it to me. And I'm like, holy cow, a lot of this kind of adds up. I remember last year during the Super Bowl, you kind of sent me the results before the game actually started, which is pretty wild.
And I'll give you the results of this year's Super Bowl, but off stream.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to make some money off this. I ain't giving it to you because I don't know who you are. I don't have a personal relationship. Now, my man over here, I'll give him the pick. But, you know, it might be around for him to vote. So it is what it is. Yeah. But everyone here is going to win. At the end of the day, I don't know you guys, so I can't give you that pick.
Yeah,
I'm a capitalist, though.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to do something for free if you're good at it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
If it's a good service, you got to pay for it.
There you go.
And it's always great to have you. You're very entertaining. You always provide some very fascinating information. As of course, Solomon is also in the house here. We just met. We don't really kind of know each other, but let me move the plant so I could see you here a little bit better. But it's good to have you here. For the people who don't know who you are, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It was nice to meet you. And yeah, I'm quite big on Twitter, social media, do a lot of journalism. I hit the news quite a bit because of the Elon attack on free speech and on my account recently. And before that, obviously, I've got a significantly decent academic background. I've got like a number of degrees and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's gonna be fire.
Nice. We might even get into UK politics, which is imprisoning people for expressing political opinions back over there.
We'll definitely talk about that. Yeah, and politics is my thing, so we can talk about anything.
Awesome, perfect. Steph is also helping us out here, burning the midnight oil. Thank you, Steph, for pushing the buttons. Who are you?
Hi everyone, this is Steph We Are Change, and I'm the official button pusher.
And if you can't just speak a little bit closer into the mic, as we're expecting Steph to, of course, take over the conversation and lead it. Right, Steph?
Yep, that's what I do.
Awesome. Let's just get right into it, because I think we're dealing with a new Trump administration that we have never really seen ever in the White House. We're dealing with a new kind of juggernaut. We're dealing with a larger kind of elephant in the room that's not able to, of course, be ignored, as he's making a lot of big moves, as his press secretary just announced major cuts at the U.S. government as they're looking to fire a bunch of people. They're looking to stop a lot of funds, as they just found out that they were about to spend $50 million of your money, of your tax dollars, to fund condoms in Gaza. Yes, you heard that correctly. Here's the clip that's being circulated around everywhere showing, hey, this is finally an administration paying attention to what the government is doing and how they're wasting your money. This is pretty big here. Here's the clip from the White House spokesperson today.
More time to plan for the fact that they are about to lose, in some cases, really crucial federal funding, at least for a period of time.
There was notice. It was the executive order that the president signed. There's also a freeze on hiring, as you know, a regulatory freeze, and there's also a freeze on foreign aid. And this is, again, incredibly important to ensure that this administration is taking into consideration how hard the American people are working. And their tax dollars actually matter to this administration. You know, just during this pause, DOGE and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States to be a part of. So
good, because that's a criminal organization that has absolutely failed us and led us to make some very tremendously bad moves and decisions that wrecked the lives of not just Americans, but the people of the world. And that larger communistic run organization no longer will be participating with the United States, which I think is an absolutely great thing. Here's the continuation of this clip.
So that wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. DOGE and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on, being good stewards of tax dollars.
I think the people in Gaza need money, but not for that. I mean, this is nonsense.
Yeah. I mean, clean drinking water, food, shelter, construction material to build a home. Yeah, that I could understand. Jimmy hats? $50 million on Jimmy? Are you freaking kidding me? As Elon Musk actually declared that this is the tip of the iceberg, as Deutsche looks like it's kind of delivering on its kind of larger promise of stopping government waste here, as this larger kind of interpersonal relationship that's kind of unfolding here is highlighting how Trump isn't playing any games. He's being very serious, as he's also discussing firing 2 million federal workers. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, music to my ears.
I've got strong opinions on this, but
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
I think, first of all, I wouldn't be excited about this, right? Because, okay, you can fire 2 million federal workers, but the question becomes, some of them will be waste, for sure, but some of them may not be waste. And it's not always the case when you trim the fat, as you call it, or you basically remove workers, that things are going to be better. A good example is Twitter. He obviously fired a lot of workers. Would you say Twitter's operating better? I think there's a highly...
Not Spaces. That's for sure.
Spaces are much worse, as someone who basically runs the biggest spaces on Twitter.
And the video platform kind of sucks too. There's real no way for videos to break through, especially live streams on Twitter as well. The algorithm sees it as an external link, even though it's internal within Twitter. So
exactly,
it's just crazy.
And so I used to get, again, good decent numbers on my Twitter lives, but the problem is obviously my blue check mark's been taken away, so I can't do that now. But coming back to the point, so unless you've got a problem, like for example, we had people's blue tick being taken away, people being demonetized, there was no one to talk to, there was no one to email, there was not. So it's not always the case, and Elon can get away with it because he's kind of got this kind of, he's got these people who basically just love him and support him no matter what. But when it comes to the federal level, let's say somebody's not there to deal with your problem or queries, that's not great. Yeah. So like sacking 2 million federal workers may be a good thing, may not. We'll have to see.
I would just
if they're Democratic workers, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and
I gotta make that clear.
In Washington D.C., they're predominantly Democratic liberal workers. I would respectfully disagree because I would argue the government isn't there to help you. The government there is standing in your way to take your money, screw you over, and throw you in jail. While of course they dance on your grave of destruction.
Welcome to America.
We can respectfully disagree.
Welcome to America.
As of course, we also wanted to remind people that we will be taking your super chats. Gary will be personally answering them as well and going through the numerology as well. We already got one super chat on YouTube here from Wacko saying snacks for Alice. Thank you so much, Wacko. Really appreciate that. And we're going to be utilizing new tech here as well, as we have xmrchat.com/wearechanged. The link is in the description, and it actually allows you to anonymously show up your super chats on the screen during the making of this with a privacy crypto coin. xmrchat.com/we are change. And of course, we also have a Streamlabs link that does a 3% service charge. But any and all super chats will be, of course, attempted to be read here during this internal conversation. But yeah, we disagree. But overall, I think what we have seen with the Biden administration, what we have seen with government, in general, my personal dealings with the government have just been so disappointing. And when he talks about overhauling FEMA, getting rid of FEMA, this is all something that a lot of Americans are saying, yes, I can't wait for this to happen, because then you get rid of this bloated bureaucracy that's standing in the way from people to be able to be free and to make their own personal decisions. And I think we have been robbed of that for so long. And I think anything is better than government right now.
So I agree with you in terms of the Biden administration. I mean, Gary knows and everybody knows I was supporting Trump before the election. So people know I think the Biden administration is a joke. But I feel like right now, a lot of what the Trump administration is saying is hot air, and we haven't seen the real results of it. So as an example, you mentioned foreign aid in that clip, but if you look at the countries the foreign aid is largely going to, they're still going to get foreign aid. So what? You're stopping foreign aid for the... So it's like literally saying, I'm stopping foreign aid, but actually the biggest countries that are receiving it, you're still
But for condoms?
But
That's for condoms?
So I'll answer that. So in terms of
and just speak into the mic a little bit closer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So in terms of condoms, obviously that's a bit weird. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. But if you look at the amount, 50 million being sent, obviously they were probably likely, if that money went, they wouldn't have spent it on condoms. It's nothing compared to what's Israel receiving, which is in the billions. So 50 million is a small drop.
Oh, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying for condoms that can go.
Yeah.
Oh, if that's specifically for condoms, I'm cool.
I'm all right.
I'm cool.
I'm okay.
As a
I'm
matter
okay
of
with
fact,
that too. Yeah,
send those condoms to California. They need them over there instead.
And New York City as well.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
But the larger point that I'm making here is that he cut all foreign policy and foreign aid through his foreign policy, except for two countries, Egypt and Israel.
Which is really Israel.
And Ukraine, over the last few years, has been getting the significant portion of a lot of our money and the largest extent of it. So have a lot of other countries in the world as well.
Send Patriot missiles from
I
Israel
read that. I haven't confirmed
to
that. I'm gonna,
Ukraine? I want to see if that's actually true.
I'm going to double confirm that right now in order to bring up that story, because we are hearing from Volodymyr Zelensky today that he also had to cut a lot of his programs since the money from the United States has officially been cut. And I think this is a larger attempt to try to bring Zelensky over to the negotiation table. There's also threats of sanctions and larger economic wars against Russia if they don't play ball. And it looks like we are still in the midst of a very heated negotiation that isn't going as smoothly as a lot of people expected it to go with the theater of war that is Ukraine right now. But let me look up this specific story, because it is a major one. And I saw people on Reddit talk about it. But again, it's also Reddit. And there's a lot of fake news and not true news being shared there at all. But the latest news that we're getting here specifically is that Donald Trump is offering 2 million federal workers the chance to resign in exchange for 8 months severance, a part of a larger package here. This would mean that the White House could expect between 5 to 10% of workers to quit, leading to $100 billion in saving. As a lot of people like Nick Sorter are saying that this is a great move by Trump and Doge. And personally, yeah, absolutely brilliant move. I would love that move.
Well, how many of these people, what are we talking about? What are they going to get paid to leave? Because essentially you're paying people not to work. So that's a little bit I want to know exactly what departments we're talking about, all this stuff before I think that's a good thing.
How much are you going to pay them for the 8 months as well?
I think it also depends on their salary. So it would be
no doubt,
their portion of salary, and how much money.
What's the percentage they're going to give people not to work? Because depending on what that is, I'm not sure this is a good deal.
Yeah.
So, I'll love to Donald Trump. I just want to see the numbers, and you're a transparent president, so I expect to see that type of stuff.
I just want to see him gone. To be quite honest, I just want to see him leave. I want him out of my life. I want no more bureaucracy. I hate dealing with the IRS. I hate my taxes being so high. I hate dealing with this nonsense.
You are a 4 life path. So let's get into the numerology, because what happens when people are 4s? They're more likely to get hit by the police. They're more likely to get hit by audits. You are a living example of this, because when you're 4 is the number of law and order. So you're going to be held to a much higher standard than anyone else. That's how this works. This is on a curve. Energy matters. America was founded on the 4th. There's good things with that and bad things. Let's start going into it right now.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I got arrested 7 times throughout my career. And I never did anything illegal during those 7 times. I was always arrested because I asked a question to a politician that they didn't like, or I was filming something that the police didn't like, and I was literally dragged into court and faced so many serious charges for simply just existing. The IRS hitting me so hard in October wasn't fun to deal with. That's why
it makes sense. You're a 4.
Yeah.
It all makes sense. And guess what? I've heard stories like this over and over. You know why you haven't heard it? Because you didn't know what to look for. I was the guy who was telling people, yo, on 4 days, make sure you put those seatbelts on. That's about the only day I wear my seatbelt. Because that's the day people are going to be held to a higher standard. So, for instance, if you're born on the 4th, 13th, 31st, or any day that adds up to 4 in total, like Luke, you're going to basically understand that this is the type of stuff that's more likely to happen to you than anyone else.
Yeah, and America was founded on the 4th, and
Correct.
so were a lot of very successful companies that are operating within the United States as well.
Let's go into it, because
as
everything in life is yin yang. So I've talked about a lot of times, what are wealthy numbers? Because everyone wants to know, why are some people rich and some people aren't? So guess what? We know there's 2 numbers, 28, Elon Musk, 8, why the Chinese started Olympic Games on 8/8/2008. By the way, this is common knowledge in China. This is common knowledge in Asia that 8 is the number of money, 28 is the number of wealth. That's something I put out there. But it goes deeper, guys. It really does. Because, see, when you're in a location that's defined by vibrational energy, if you match that vibrational energy, good things happen. Like, for instance, Donald Trump is born on the same day the United States military is founded. 6/14. He's a strong military president. They're connected, they're vibrations. So in America, which is founded on the 4th, you're going to see a lot of people who are born on the 4th who are very successful. People like Jay-Z, people like Beyonce. Maybe that's why they have their house in the number of a 4. They're both born on the 4th. But see, it doesn't end there. It's not just people. It's also things. So when you have companies like Google, companies like Facebook, founded on the 4th, American companies that are founded on the 4th, because they're in America, the energy expands. It's like a cheat code, and they are using it. And don't tell me this is a coincidence. We're talking about some of the top companies in the world. Obviously, they know something that maybe your dumbass doesn't know. So don't tell me I'm crazy, because this is actually how the game works. I'm spitting game here.
There's a lot of people that are in the kind of upper echelons of society that believe in a lot of stuff and implement it. And you see it, especially in a lot of the larger symbols that they kind of put out there to the general public as well. Steph, we have some super chats here. Let's read them off, because I think we got two big ones that just came in.
Sure, we have Just 'Cause I'm Free.
And read it into the mic.
Just 'Cause I'm Free with the $100 super chat, so you know what happens when we get one of those. And it says, not only should everyone be calling their senators and representatives to vote to approve RFK Jr., Tulsi, and Cash, there is also HB 38 that is committee. It is for a national constitutional carry. Please call your representatives and senators. Let's get all these things passed.
Yeah, thank you for that $100 super chat, Just 'Cause I'm Free. Absolutely agree with you on that one. We should go over the larger kind of kind of predictions for RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel. I think that would be really interesting because they're going to be facing confirmation hearings in just a few days from now, actually in a few hours from now.
Really?
And it's going to be fascinating to see if they actually will be appointed, if they actually will be allowed. We actually have a special little marker representing people who give over $100. So shouts out to Just Cause I'm Free. We got another one here from Chris Coughlin. Read it really quick, Steph.
Free Matthew Hoover, who taxpayers are paying to keep in jail for advertising a picture of an auto sear on YouTube.
Lots of people getting hit under the old administration. And, truly, I feel for a lot of people that are being politically prosecuted. Individuals like Roger Ver, Joe B. Weeks, Ian Freeman as well. There's so many people that are now looking for specific pardons. But I want to ask you guys, what do you think is going to be happening? Because a lot of people are expecting fireworks. I'm looking at the corporate media right now, and they are running hit piece after hit piece after hit piece on Kash Patel specifically, Tulsi Gabbard, and RFK Jr. Do you guys think these guys will actually be appointed to the position of power? Will the Senate, will the Republican rhinos acquiesce to Donald Trump and allow him to have these members in his cabinet?
So I found it shocking. But if you look at Marco Rubio, he got 99. Everyone voted for him to be confirmed, which is shocking. Even Bernie Sanders, and remember, Marco Rubio is a rhino, uni-party type of guy. So that was surprising, which kind of says or demonstrates that the Senate is going to kind of go more towards whoever Donald Trump does put in place.
Well, Rubio Moore is kind of like a neocon. He does represent a larger kind of connection to the intel agencies that he has as well. So I think that's why he was able to grease the wheels. Yeah. I think with RFK Jr.
But didn't you find it shocking that people like Bernie also voted for him?
That's a little bit, I mean, when you work with someone that closely for so long, you can kind of get to know them. It's kind of one big club that all these people are kind of in. It's pretty fair to say.
That's the truth.
RFK Jr.'s not in that club, as there's also a lot of shadowy organizations and dark money that's being utilized right now to slander him, to attack him, and to try to make sure that he does not get confirmed. Bill Gates is freaking out right now. What do you think about RFK Jr.? His birthday just passed. It was January 17th, 1954. Do you think the stars are aligning for him, if I could ask?
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be confirmed.
Nice. Do you think there's going to be someone that isn't confirmed out of all of those three? Because it's Tulsi Gabbard.
We're talking about our RFK, who's a snake, who's going to come to power in the snake year. Let's not forget his famous uncle, who was a snake. You have to understand that this energy plays into effect. I'm not going to bet against people born in snake years, whether they're 65, whether they're 77, whether they're 89. I don't give a damn. Most snakes are going to be winners this year. And he's most likely going to get confirmed just based off that energy. Yeah, I don't see any issues with that.
I think Tulsi is going to be the one that's going to be the most difficult.
She's a rooster, though.
Yeah, Tulsi is April 12th, 1981.
Yeah, she's an 8 life path rooster. Good talker because she has that 3 energy there. Definitely a woman who's supposed to be in a position of power. Again, as much as we want to limit that, but as a 8 life path rooster in a snake year, I think she gets through. I think they all get through.
And then Kash,
I think. Well, give me that one.
Kash
right there.
Patel's February 25th, 1980.
That might be the most difficult one right there.
He is also threatening to release the Epstein client list.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most difficult one.
Trump's not going to release that.
I think, I made a tweet about this kind of facetiously saying, hey, there's going to be a lot of rhinos. There's going to be a lot of conservatives that are going to try to stop Tulsi Gabbard, especially. Yeah, and Kash threatening to release the Epstein list. I mean, the intel agencies are just going to be really pissed about that. RFK Jr. has pissed off almost everyone in the establishment. So I made a facetious tweet saying Trump should leverage the Epstein client list and threaten to release it if any of these 3 don't get elected. And everyone was like, yes. And everyone's like, just release it anyway. I don't know if it will be released or would it be released, but I would argue that Trump needs to kind of untangle that larger web if he wants to have more reign and control of his administration. Because there's so many people that are still being extorted. There's so many tapes. There's so many videos and hard drives that they confiscated from Epstein that they lost, that they're using against these people that they could use and implement against Donald Trump's agenda. And I have argued that it would be advantageous for Donald Trump to kind of put in check these larger intel agencies by releasing this list, releasing what's really going on here, and exposing it to the rest of the world in order to kind of defang these intel agencies.
Well, the thing is, and in addition to what you said, the reason why he needs to release it is because people now are asking questions. Why is it he's willing to release other files, such as the JFK files, and so on and so forth, but he's unwilling to release the Epstein files? Is he connected somehow? Is he worried that some people he's connected to may be a part of the Epstein client list? So when you have all of these questions, I think it's imperative that he releases it. And if he doesn't, then there's huge question marks about Donald Trump and his connections to Epstein.
I think the way he released the JFK files and the RFK and the MLK files, I mean, that was a boss move.
Where are all those files right now?
I think they're waiting to be released.
Okay, so I want to see them released before I start praising.
Yes.
I know he signed it, and again, I love you, guy. But I want to see those files because of what I believe is in those files. If he actually released them like he said he did, that's going to cause problems. That's going to cause problems with certain people out there, and I would be interested how that plays out.
I agree.
It's gonna be
Like how I did that?
It's gonna be fascinating. I mean,
that's how you do it on YouTube, bro. That's how you do it on YouTube, bro.
If I see nothing but redacted black pages, I'm gonna be pissed off.
That's my concern.
I'm like, hey, what is this here? I don't want redacted pages. I want to know all of it. I want to see all of it. It could be just the government also messing with us. The government could have really nothing in those documents, and they could have just been messing with us, just like they did with the drones. As today, we also found out that according to the Trump administration, the drones were approved by Joe Biden and his administration, and they were just flying them all over the East Coast. We got another super chat related to RFK Jr. that we were discussing. Read it off quick, Steph.
RFK Jr. is super important pick. I hope to be in the shape he is when I'm at his age. Cut out seed oils and other unhealthy oils along with processed food. Thank you, just because I'm free.
Absolutely. Take care of your health. He definitely seems like the larger kind of representation of that, even though there's probably some, steroids involved here too. Let's just be quite honest.
Let me do a super chat too.
Go ahead.
Someone born December 11th, 1977. Double 11 life path. You're a snake, and the snake year is coming. Like what? In a couple hours? Couple hours is a snake year. So here's what the thing. Everyone in life gets a boost every now and then. And that boost comes once every 12 years when you're in your own energy for most people. No matter what you do in life, you have to go hard. Now, as someone who's a double 11, you basically got to control your emotions, not let them control you. Obviously, I see money comes very easy to use. That's not going to be an issue. But what you have to understand in life is whatever you want, whatever you desire, whatever you feel you have that need to accomplish, this is your time to do it. Starting tomorrow. And by the way, the snake year starts on the 29th. 2 and 9 is 11. You are born on the 11th. Boom. That's just going to boost that energy that much more. There you go, brother. Go
So it's 8 p.m. now on the East Coast. Tomorrow is officially the start of the Chinese New Year. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yes.
So and then next year is the rooster year.
No, next year's the horse year.
The horse year. Okay. So it's
her year.
Stephanie's year.
Steph.
Are you excited about the horse year?
Yeah, I'm excited. I got so many plans.
What are the plans you got planned for yourself here? Because you're into this stuff too. We talk about this stuff sometimes as well.
No, I'm just learning about it now. I didn't know about you, GG, until Luke. So I'm learning about it through the GG33 way. There's a lot of other numerologists out there that just have it kind of different. So it's really interesting.
You know what the difference is?
Tell us.
They're broke. I'm not. And I'm going to tell you why that matters, because if what you're doing actually works, you're not going to be broke. One of the reasons, like in 2002, when I started really going at other numerologists, I went to the top people of the field, and they would tell me all sorts of conspiracies and all this. And I'm like, okay, show me this works. And they never did. The difference is when I look at stuff, I don't study these books anymore. The books are garbage. I study people. And by looking at people, I'm able to see, okay, people at this birthday tend to have this personality. People at this birthday tend to do this, this, this. And by doing that, I was able to apply in different ways in life, like sports betting. We were talking right before the show how I picked the Super Bowl winner. I went 2-0 this week when it came to picking the NFC and AFC champions because I'm able to apply this energy. If you can't apply this knowledge in everyday life, it's not real. That's the difference.
Whenever there's a party, everyone's always surrounded by Gary, and they love talking to you. We got another one with someone's birthday. Steph, read it off.
Chicks love numerology.
I'm a rat. It says it's
You love it too.
Latin 342 says I'm a rat born March 1996. What does that mean?
March 19th.
No, just they just
She didn't
gave the
give
year.
a date. She just said March 1996.
You gotta give us the full year.
Yo, that's not how this stuff works. I want to make this clear. I'm not a psychic. I don't go, I don't have a crystal ball over here. This isn't like smoking glass, guys. This is real. But I need information to work on. I need information to work off. I just read the numbers. That's all I'm doing. And if you can't give me the whole birthday, I can't help you. She said 96 though?
Yeah, Latin 342. Just comment in the regular chat room your date, and then I will tell you what that means. But she didn't say that specifically. But yeah,
She's 96 and she's a rat. So what does that say about
They're good at manipulation.
Yeah, well,
Rats are really good at manipulation. If you look at countries that were founded in rat years, they're really good at manipulation.
Israel.
So when it comes down to certain things, you have to understand that like Israel was founded 1948 year of the rat, but it's not just like astrology. They also mixed the numerology there. Think about it. 1948, 1948 adds up to 22. 22 is a master number in numerology. It's called the master builder and master destroyer. So once you start applying this knowledge, you understand how it works. Again, I want to make this abundantly clear. You cannot spell Jerusalem without USA. It's very simple why they moved the embassy there.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I'm Sam. 19.
just in the mic. Just speak in the mic. Just bring
sorry.
it up a little before. She just responded. She says March 28th, 1996.
March 28th, 1996. Well, when it comes down to being born on the 28th, and today's the 28th, congratulations, because it's like a golden ticket. It basically means not that you're going to be a billionaire like Elon Musk, or not that you can be a billionaire like Bill Gates, but what it does mean is whenever you need money, somehow, some way it comes to you. And it always has. That's the power of being born in the 28th. It just comes to you. And most of these people really think it's dumb luck. I mean, Vladimir Putin, the guy we're going to talk about today, went out of his way to have a child born on the 28th. And not to mention, I also apply this knowledge myself, and my wife had a C-section on the 28th. And yes, we have significantly improved our lives financially since that child was born. So money comes easy to you. And it always will. Always trust your gut, too. You have really good gut instincts. And that's where I'll go.
Solomon, what do you think of all this? Because I know you've been talking to Gary, too. Have you implemented any of this stuff yourself?
Yeah, look, it's a bit controversial because obviously I'm a Muslim, but I do believe in numerology. I think it works significantly. Before I met Gary, I did actually study like Islamic numerology, so I knew that worked, and then basically spiritual numerology as well, which I know it works as well. And then I met Gary, and then he basically explained his numerology, which is, and he's taught me quite a lot of it actually, and it is fire. It definitely works. I'm very much into it, and I think I do know like a lot of the things he's saying. I do know it because obviously he taught me it, so it is like definitely on the ball, both the numerology part and the astrology part.
Yeah. Now we have everyone sending in their birthdays in the super chat. Are you okay going through this?
Keep going.
Gary? Steph, take it away.
All right. We got Steve Lawless saying March 12th, 1981, please.
March 12th, 1981, 7 life path. You are what they call a very intellectual. You are an extremely smart man. 7 is the number of the genius. Genius starts with G. G is the 7th letter. So when people have that birthday, they just want to know as much as possible. Now, you do get bored quickly, and you do have a short attention span, but you love knowledge. You look very young for your age, and quite frankly, you're a little bit too aggressive in life. I'd probably slow down a little bit. I think your greatest gift is your ability to build up other people as well. Good mouthpiece too. Good at sales. 2023 sucked.
Oh, we got Kirk Wood
In the mic stuff.
saying Gary, April 18th, 1985 ox.
Well, you don't have to tell me what it is. I already know what it is. So April 18th, you're a double 9 life path, and you're born in the ox year. So here's the thing. Snakes going to dominate this year. Kai Sinet's already showing it. Roosters are going to dominate this year. And the other sign that's going to do really well this year is ox. So when it comes down to it, people who are born 85, 97 should expect a much better outcome. Now, does that mean you can just lay on your couch and be like, ah, fuck it, astrology got me? No, you got to put in work. It's like, taking steroids and not even working out. You still got to do some work, but it's just going to boost your energy. So go out there, go hard, do whatever you want to do in life. Now, when it comes down to you, I see you do travel quite a bit, but I'm going to say this. Make sure you surround yourself in front of the right people. You need the right people around you. You have that done, you'll be fine in life.
And that's
you're good at starting things. You're not very good at finishing them. It is what it is.
And that's like an important point you made, right? Because people think numerology is like, oh, it predicts the future. Like it just tells you what's going to happen. But in reality, what you just said there was that you need to put the effort in. So what actually happens is you're made in a certain way, right? People are made with different levels of intelligence. People are made with different types of body types.
Say that again.
Yeah. People are made with different types of...
Repeal 19.
Oh, no. We're going there.
Yeah, so people are
we
made
going
with
to
like...
get into demographics? Oh, no.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. So people are made with like different type of body types. People are made with different attributes. Yeah, for sure. And therefore, you're given those, and then it's how you apply it to life. That's the way I see numerology. It's like you're given certain things. There's certain things that might go your way. Your soul's made in a certain way. The universe is created in a certain way, and then it's the way you navigate it.
All right, Steve Lawless is saying spot on. Wow, my mind is blown from what you had read previously.
And he did that in the regular chat room, right?
Yeah. I just want to give everyone a little update on what we got going on right now.
I'm that damn good. That's why I'm the only numerologist ever invited to the White House. Trump White House. I want to make
That's
that.
good.
I want to make that clear. Trump White House.
Yeah.
Biden. Yeah. No, I was only there once.
I thought you went to the inauguration twice.
No. Well, yeah, I went to the inauguration twice, but the White House once. Okay. Yeah.
We got Guardian Angel saying 040589. I'm curious what you have to say.
April 5th, 1989.
April 5th, 89. Well, you change your mind a lot. You are an attractive person. You're also a very jealous person. Quite frankly, when I look at you, I think you, not look at you, read your numbers. I basically see someone who's very good at doing things. Someone can be very indecisive at times, but once you set your mind to something, you're really good at it. I think you have a lot of wisdom, but you can be lazy at times. This is a snake year. You're a snake. You better get your shit together this year. Go hard. And honestly, money should have been coming to you, at least in the first 3 months of this year, money should come to you. So just take advantage of that energy.
11/29, 1994, please and thanks.
This is from
Stinker.
Little Stinker.
Well, I love talking to people who were born in 1994 because, like, I really didn't like talking to you guys about 6 months ago because every time I talked to you, I had to tell you it was bad things. I had to tell you, oh, yo, it's bad energy right now because you're born in the year of the dog. And, this was the year of the dragon. It still is the year of the dragon for a few more hours. So why do you think California is burning? California was founded in 1850, year of the dog. That it's burning. And by the way, I've made videos of this saying it was going to happen. So this is not like, oh, wow, how come you didn't warn us? I did. Here's the point. If you're born in the year of the dog, it was your enemy year. Shit did not go your way for the past year. But now that energy, tomorrow, it's going to be like you're a beach ball suppressed underwater. And tomorrow, they're going to let you rise like this. So you're going to basically feel a lot of negative energy just off you. And, 2026 is the year you actually take off. You're an old soul. Anyone born on the 11th, 29th is an old soul, no matter how young they are. And what that basically means is I believe you've been reincarnated quite a few times actually to earn the right to be someone who's 11. 11, 22, 33, these are master numbers. You can't be given that. You have to earn that right. You have to go through all the 1 through 9 and actually pass those reincarnations until you get to that energy. So basically it comes down to this. Control your emotions. 2025 should be a good year for you, my friend.
We got some more. We have one from Owen Miller.
All right, we need to slow down for a second.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Now
okay,
we
we
got a
so
whole
we-
bunch. We should do the ones that are the highest.
Yeah,
We
so-
have King of Biltong also, but we'll get into it in a little bit since there's always a lot of different stuff to talk about, and I know everyone is
So
always.
we'll go back to these like every 10 minutes, but here's what's going to happen. It's going to derail the podcast completely because this is all it's going to be. So we'll go back every 10 minutes. Plus, I need to catch my breath. Okay, I'm not some street hooker who's just gonna work 24/7. You gotta wait a little bit. Okay, thank you. Let's go to some news.
Yeah, I like Gary here because I don't have to do the talking. Gary just kind of takes over. I'm like, okay, cool. I get to relax.
I got
and
him
look at
here
all the news that's
too.
breaking
I got him here too.
Solomon, take over anytime you want as well. As of course, I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at all the news breaking right now. It looks like Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social that the number of encounters at the border have gone down 92.9% in the first week of Trump's administration. Daily migrant encounters dropped significantly from 2,087 to just 148 under Trump's new border measures that have essentially stopped a lot of people trying to illegally cross into the United States. This is also happening as there was gunfire at the southern border yesterday as alleged cartel members were taking shots at U.S. Border Patrol. As clearly, this is one of the main issues right now that is dominating this country. Immigration has been a hot topic of discussion. There's a lot of leftists, there's a lot of liberals that are not happy about this larger kind of disclosure. There's people organizing how they could hide people on Facebook right now, how they could get away from, of course, implementing a lot of these ICE measures.
Send them to prison too. If you're hiding people, send them to prison too. Get the hell out of my country. Flat the hell out. Get the hell out of my country. If you came here illegally, get out or ICE is going to throw you out. And by the way, this isn't no underground railroad. There's none of this bullshit going on. There's no moral argument here. Nations have fucking borders. Get out.
Not the UK, though, right, Solomon?
No, I think it's the other way around. We actually don't have any illegal immigration into the UK. So in a year, we have anything between 20 to 40,000 illegal immigrants. I think you guys have that like on a daily basis. So when it comes to UK,
So it's a lot easier to get to us than on an island, you know?
yeah, of course. So in the UK, this is like, again, some propaganda where people make it look like there's illegal immigration going on when there's hardly any illegal immigration in the UK. In terms of what you said about Trump, though, I mean, I know, again, everyone's excited. I know people love Trump, but I think we need...
Trump. Go ahead.
But I think we need the evidence to basically marry up with a lot of the claims or a lot of the news. So at the moment, when you look at a lot of people, illegal immigrants that are being deported, I think it's averaging at like maybe 300 a day, which is...
No, it's a little bit more than that.
No,
The
it's
last 2 days, it was like 1,000.
Yeah, but then the first 5 days, it was like 200.
Yeah, give them some time.
Yeah. So that's the excuse. So hopefully Gary's right, and that ends up happening, that the numbers increase, and therefore he does basically back up what his claim is, that there's going to be a lot of illegal immigrants. But up to now, based on the numbers, there's not going to be that many over the year. So if they carry on with this average, it's going to be well below many other years.
Even if they shut down the border, which they have, there's ICE agents and everything all over there now. So people aren't getting in it like they used to. That in itself tells you that they're serious about this. Right there. Now, it's going to take some time. What do you think? You're going to be able to get 50,000 people out a day? That's probably impossible without turning this into a police state. There's only so far they can go without, going over expanding their police powers.
How much are you expecting over the year?
I think as long as we get to a number of about maybe 2,000-3,000 a day, I think that's a good start for year one. Year one.
Yesterday on January 27th, there was 3,552 arrests and 2,650 detainees logged. So that was just yesterday.
That's not bad.
What are the numbers today? We don't know yet, because today's still not over. But the data that we're getting in is highlighting a huge number here. These are a lot of people that the Democrats wanted to be in here to be future Democratic voters that no longer will be. I mean, I think it's also fair to argue. We saw what happened in the United Kingdom when a lot of people were able to kind of walk in and kind of change the overall kind of political landscape of that country.
How so?
I think the UK and Europe has been very slowly and surely moving more and more to the left, more towards liberal governments, and I think a big portion of that is because of their immigration policies.
Yeah, I don't agree. But UK is definitely more left. There's no
Yes.
doubt about that,
Yeah.
right? But in terms of the reasoning for it, is definitely not because of immigration. The vast majority of immigration into the UK comes from India and China. When you look at the UK demographic, you'll be surprised. But for example, in the UK, the white population is 78%.
Higher than America.
In America,
Yeah.
it's only 58%. So that tells you how the difference. In terms of why the UK, why Labour was voted in, obviously we can't talk about who basically put Keir Starmer in power because we're on YouTube. But anyway, they put Keir Starmer in power. And the only reason he won the vote, and he got won by landslide, is actually because 6 weeks before the UK elections, Nigel Farage became the head of Reform Party. Before that, it was Tice. And what the mainstream media did was they started propagating Nigel Farage a lot. And to the point where he got a decent amount of recognition. So a party that was almost inconsequential became mainstream within 6 weeks before the election. What Nigel Farage did was, or what his party did was, it took a lot of the Conservative vote. So if you think about it, you got Labour votes.
They
and
split the vote.
They split the Conservative
Yep.
vote. So even in areas that before were always Conservative, once you split the vote, Labour wins. So in reality, the reason why Labour won the election, because remember, before that, we had Conservatives in power for almost 12 years, is because of the vote split. It's not for any other reason.
You're basically saying the same thing that happened to Clinton. Perot split the vote against Bush, and Clinton got in.
And also something that
this is
recently
what
happened
happens.
in France as well, where the right wingers were looking like they were going to have a larger political victory, and then left made a larger coalition with the ultra left, and then stopped this kind of right wing kind of powerhouse that was kind of coming in there that everyone was kind of fear mongering about. As now we're going to have also elections in Germany that I think are going to be very consequential, as a lot of people are also looking at the kind of right wing party there. But overall, I would argue that being in Europe, you learn that a lot of the kind of right wingers there are essentially moderate liberals of America, and the political kind of spectrum is a little bit
This is
a little bit
extremely
different.
accurate.
Yeah.
Extremely accurate. So if you look at the Conservative government, who's meant to be the right-wing party,
Yeah.
they're the ones who did the LGBTQ education in schools. They're the ones who did various other policies, which you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube. But basically, they did a lot of those policies. So that's the right-wing government.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure, you're right.
And also, there's a lot of Muslims now that are not in favor of the left-wing government inside of Europe, who are saying, "Yeah, I don't want to vote for the lefties as well."
The problem with the Muslims in the UK is they didn't want to vote Labour because of the geopolitical situation that's happened over the last 15 months, and they didn't want to vote Conservative because they don't represent them at all. So essentially, they end up voting either didn't vote or they did vote Labour because they didn't want the reform of the party to get in. Because the Muslim population in the UK is so less, it almost becomes inconsequential because they don't vote as a monolith.
Yeah. What do you think is going to be happening in Germany? As a lot of people are saying, there could be a big surprise there.
So Elon's pushing the AfD party. I think the AfD party is going to get a decent amount of the vote, but even then, I don't think they'll win the election.
Elon don't have that pull in Germany.
He doesn't have that.
He
Problem.
doesn't have
He's
that
not
pull in Germany.
David Hasselhoff. If it was David
Yeah,
Hasselhoff,
then he's got it.
then
Yeah,
you need to recruit David Hasselhoff, and you will get all of the people in Germany
agree.
voting for you. But Germany is a fascinating place.
In about a minute, I'm going to have to do my super chats
Yeah.
too, and then we'll jump to yours.
We got a whole bunch now
yeah.
that are
So-
absolutely
so do I.
surprising as
So
well.
do I, bro.
So no, we'll get into it. I mean, we have the time, and it's important to answer as many people as we can here. We got a couple other people. Do you want to do it now, or should we?
Go for a minute, then we'll
All right,
start.
we'll go
doing
for a
this.
minute. We got Owen Miller who says, "Hey Luke, excited to see you Saturday. We're actually moving our range day from this Saturday because we do a lot of things for our members of LukeUnfiltered.com. If you're a member, you could also call in and be a part of the show. Go to the members chat now on Telegram. But we moved our range day to I think a week or 2 weeks from now. We're going to let you know as soon as we know. But this week's range day is postponed and it won't be happening. But he's saying, "What's up with my birth today? October 15th, 1997.
October 15th, 1997. Okay, so you're ox, your beneficial energy is coming. Because you're born on the 15th, that means you're going to have to be either a very home and family guy or someone who has a lot of responsibility over other people in a business, department, something like that. So that would probably be the best thing that you could do in your life. Either have a family business. And another thing that people who are born on the 15th are really good at, I mean, you guys could check this. This is sound. People born on the 15th are like killers in real estate. They do so well. And one of the reasons is if you look at house, home, first vowel is O, O is the 15th letter. So of all the 6 vibrations that the people born in the 15th do really well in real estate. So if you're not in that field, that's what I recommend you do.
Is it a 33 as well?
33.6.
Yeah.
I don't like to even give people that because they start thinking like, oh, I'm a 33, where no matter what, they're mostly 6.
Yeah, but they're better than everybody else.
Oh my God.
I think we had a conversation too where you're like, I think you're at a point where you're at a 33.6
See,
too.
he decided to do that because that person was an ox and he's a rat. So he decided to help his fellow soulmate, even though he never met that person, never will. But that's how energy works, correct?
Also, I'm a 33 as well. 6
Yeah.
We have another one from King of Biltong who works with us. He's one of our sponsors, BiltongUSA.com, landofbiltong.com. Great products, great services. He says, okay, I'll play. January 17th, 1974.
January 17th, 1974. Is that what he said?
Yes, January 17th, 1974.
Okay. So basically what we have here is a 3 life path. So you're a communicator. You're a networker. You honestly look pretty young for your age. This is something you could know if you actually met the guy. So when it comes down to it, as long as you're that guy who knows everybody, as long as you're that networker, you're doing exactly what you should do in life. Because you're born in the 17th, 1 in 7 to 8, that means you felt what it is to be poor and be rich. If you look at the 17, 1 in 7 to 8, and it goes like this. Look at the shape of the 8. What goes around comes around. So it's karma, but it's also very thin in the middle. That thinness in the middle represents the middle class. So either you have it or you don't. That's how it's always going to be. That's how it's always working. So as long as you're watching your karma, you should be good, bro.
Yeah.
You're also like a dictator in business. Like when you're the boss, it's your way or the highway. I know you're laughing now.
Yeah. Owen Miller just answered back with another super chat saying, holy ish, I actually work in real estate. So,
and people call me a fraud.
Yeah.
And people call me a fraud. How the hell could I know that? Because I've done this enough times. This is why I'm cocky. You could have any machine. You can do anything. They haven't seen what you can't make the connections if you're not looking for the stuff. You just can't do it. So many people born on the 15th are into real estate. This is how it works.
Luke, remember we have Queen of Biltong too.
Yes. I don't think she asked in the chat, did she?
Yeah, so she says, seeing that my husband plays, I'll also play. And she gave us...
Oh, Queen of Biltong. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
she's his wife. She live streams with them, too.
Someone just gave
And
me
they
1,000, so I'm going to have to do this one.
Yes, you're going to have to do this one.
Yeah, let's do yours. I promise I'll do yours right after.
Queen of Biltong says, seeing that my husband plays, I'll play also 2/14/1989.
2/14/1989, 7 life path. She's a female?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one of the things about numerology is it showed me that numerology is above gender. It showed me that numerology is above race. So I'm going to be very real. I don't think much of women's intelligence. I just don't. But when it came down to 7s, I saw that the women who are 7 life paths, who are women born on the 7th, 16th, 25th, were running circles around men. And I had to understand why. And it showed me that numerology works and it supersedes everything. So people who are born with the 7 energy, they're basically the thinkers. They're the strategizers. G is the 7th letter for a reason, and they also have the word genius there. So what you have to understand is if you're a 7, you're a thinker. Now, here's the thing. She's also born on the 14th. 1 and 4 is 5. That's the number of good looks. So we have that rare combination of someone who's extremely good looking and extremely intelligent. Kind of won the lotto, didn't you? It is what it is.
Yep, and she is the wife of Anton.
I'm sorry, man. I hope I didn't go too hard there, man. But she's probably running circles around you, Doug. You know they're laughing. They're laughing.
As much as a woman can, though.
100%.
Wouldn't it be like, for example, if you said a woman is intelligent?
Just speak into the mic.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Just like because you said a woman's intelligent because she's a 7, but
Yes.
would you not say it'd be within the parameters? Like you wouldn't have like even a 7 woman wouldn't be smarter than like a 7 man, as an example.
No, of course not. The 7 man in most cases is definitely just like a UFC fighter, a female UFC fighter would probably wreck all of us. I think that's a safe bet that Ronda Rousey in her prime would probably whoop everyone's ass here. But any male UFC fighter would whoop her ass. So, it is what it is. So, yes, I would definitely say that the 7 men are on top of the food chain. But, there is one number that's smarter than 7. Do you know what that is?
33.
Okay. And pure 33s?
Might be slightly better.
Might be slightly.
So
That's as much as I'm getting out of him.
Are you're the pure 33?
No,
he's
come on now.
Okay.
I'm 33.
Come on now. Okay, I need to do this one reading because
That's what I
this
was told
guy,
I am too, so.
this guy really
33 as well?
wants a reading.
33.6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm working it right now.
Yeah, Gary's is live on his channel as well. We're live on our channel. If you're watching on any other broadcast, Gary, what's your channel again?
GG33 Academy
On YouTube. Right?
on YouTube. It's GG33 Academy. On TikTok, I usually have a TikTok going too, but not this time.
But we're live predominantly on Gary's channel, GG33 Academy, and then we're live here on youtube.com/We Are Change. And we're going to do our best to read as many as we can. Obviously, the
Okay.
people who super chatted the highest will have priority here. But we're also going to be breaking down news here after Gary, of course.
So I need to do a couple of these.
Gary's going to do some from his channel as well.
Let's do this one, 12/8/2000. So what you have to understand here is this is someone born on the 8th. Now, you understand how numerology works. 8 is the number of money. So a lot of times people who have that 8 energy are extremely wealthy. This guy just donated $1,500.
Wow.
Who else
One
would do
super
that?
chat, $1,500?
No. It was 1,000, then 500.
Wow.
I guess he wasn't getting fast enough, so he's like, okay, let's see if this does it. Congratulations, you got that one. So here's what it comes down to. This basically shows you how money works. Who else would do something like that? Someone who has an abundance of wealth, and that's what people who have 8 energy, they have that abundance of wealth sometimes. So here's why I'm going to look at your life. Let's look at your life. You're a dragon. If you would have hit me up at, about 8 o'clock in the morning today, I would have told you to open LLC because this is the last day of the dragon year. You are a dragon and you want to imprint that way energy any way you can. So the best thing you could have done today was open an LLC. So I'm not sure if you're in California or some other place where you can put that in the computer or still get away with it. But if you can somehow open LLC today on the 28th, the last day of the dragon year, you're doing yourself nothing but favors. You are a 4 life path. You're meant to work, bro. There's going to be no shortcuts. Whatever you want to do in life, you're going to have to put in work. See, that's the thing. People think everything is just handed to them in life. If you're a 4 life path, Luke, tell them.
Yeah, it's a lot of freaking work.
Anything
work.
ever handed to you?
Never. No. Always had to blood, sweat, and tears.
So this guy over here who's born with 8 energy, yeah, the money comes to you and you probably have a shitload of it, but you had to work your ass off for it too. That's the thing about 4s, man. They will outwork everybody. Whenever you see a 4 on top, he outworked everyone. One of the things I like to talk about is Bill Gates. I know Bill Gates is not a fan of the show.
No.
Bill Gates is definitely
is not.
Bill Gates is not the type of guy who a lot of people like. But, he was basically a con artist. He basically bought a whole bunch of operating systems from people who were smarter than him. But he found a way to basically take advantage of it. He outworked a lot of people doing what he did. He's born on the 28th, but he's also
28th, 1955.
Yep. So again, he's a 28, but he outworked all the other 28s. He outworked them. That's what you have to do as a 4. I cannot stress that enough. Now, this person's probably extremely conservative. This person is most likely going to be a person of like authority. What thing you have noticed, if you look at history, like Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a young leader. He didn't just get there when he was an old man. He was a young leader. And you see this trend with dragons. Dragons have the aura of authority. That is their superpower. So even women who are born in the year of the dragon, they seem to like dominate men a lot more than other women. So even young guys who are born with this type of energy, they're always going to be looked at as a more of a equal or more of a father figure than most people their age. So that's a way for this person here to take advantage of it. I see you're probably a good athlete. You have to work on your emotions. Quite frankly, you're don't be so aggressive when you have the money though. 8s are freaking wild when they have money, man. They try to hit home runs every fucking time. Like they don't swing for singles. They don't swing for doubles. They want a home run every time. So a lot of times you're going to see 8s that go like this. Their money is like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down. Once you're over here, slow down a little bit. And the last thing about 8s, I'll reveal. Once 8's got money, they're only interested in one thing: power. You've seen that, haven't you? All right, man. This is the last year of the last day of the year of the dragon, man. Do the most of it. Have fun. All right, let's do some more of yours.
Steph, read off the $20 ones so we can make sure that we get to the people who, of course, sent in that amount.
The Moon Guy says, my birthday is May 29th, 1992. Born the same month and day as JFK.
That is correct. And John F. Kennedy signed Executive Order 11110 on 6/4/1963, which adds up to an 11 day. 11/11, you have that 11 too. And the reason he did that day is he was using numerology against the Federal Reserve. And they used it against him when they shot him 11/22. So you have some metaphysical science against metaphysical science. And again, you can tell me all about who killed him, all about this. I'm telling you about the part they'll never tell you. You're born on the 29th, old soul. People were born on the 29th, 2 and 9 is 11. So you have that type of energy. When it comes down to you, you're a very fortunate person. If you live in America. Because if you live in America, you are a monkey in a monkey nation. 1992 is the year of the monkey. 1776 is the year of the monkey. So when it comes down to it, people who are born in monkey years always have that boost of energy. I expect you to have a very big family and a lot of grandkids. Congrats.
We have Butterfly, who says, female, 5/07/1989. What's my year going to look like?
5/07/1989. So May 7th.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a 3 life path. So you obviously don't look like you're born in 89. I'm not hitting you. I'm just telling you the truth. People wear 3 life paths age like fine wine. And you expect that because 3 is the childlike energy. Child begins with C. C is the 3rd letter. That's why you always look at the English language. But when I look at you, again, you have one of those intelligent birthdays. You're born on the 7th, like moi. I like to think that I'm pretty intelligent, but who cares what some of you people think? I know I'm intelligent, and so should people born in the 7th. You have one of your gifts in life. Some people are bodybuilders. Some people are models. You're smart. You're born in the 7th. You're smart. That it is what it is. I would say that you're having pretty much one of those type of years where your outlook on life is changing. It's been emotional, no doubt, and you're not the most emotional person in the world. But expect that energy to change after your birthday, and I expect you to have a very, very social 2025 after.
Sir Cinnamon Wilson says, January 7th, 1994, year of the dog Luke and great job. Co-host, great job.
January 7th, what year?
1994.
1994. So we have a rooster. This I love when I can talk to roosters, snakes, and oxes this year because I got nothing but good news. Everyone calls me, so-and-so. I'm manifesting bad thoughts. I'm telling you what the system is. You're a rooster. Go hard this year. And by the way, you have the best birthday ever. At least the month and the day. There is no better birthday than January 7th. You know what that is?
Other than October 10th, I think.
Okay, yeah. Come on. October 7th, January 7th is the only pure 7 energy of the whole year. You can be born February 7th, May 7th, October 7th. We know about that day. You can be born any day. But January 7th is the only pure one because it's the actual 7th day of the year. So you have an edge when it comes down to intelligence way more than pretty much almost anybody, But here's what I'm going to tell you. You're in your 8-year cycle right now. If you're in your 8-year cycle, focus on that bag, get that bag. That's the main energy you have to focus on. How to make money this year. It is about materialism in an 8-year. And as long as your karma's not fucked up, I think you'll do just fine. Go out, work them.
It's interesting to see you kind of do this because you don't have any notes. You're not cheating. You're not watching. You're not doing. You don't have a cheat sheet. It just kind of goes off in your head. So it's just seeing.
And
you
I
at work
smoke
here.
too, man.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you do it so fast as well?
Because I'm a pure 33 soul.
And I'm like, wait, I'm usually, surprised whenever Gary's around. I'm always like, well, hold on there, wait a minute there, and it's always fascinating to.
So what's your date of birth?
July 27th, 1986. So, I know Gary talked about 4 Life Pep, but then he also talked about 33.6. A lot of the stuff that he, did say does kind of ring true to everything that I've kind of been going through. And, especially the larger work part, because I've been working my butt off. And that's been the overwhelming kind of
And I
trend here
promise
for me.
I'll get to everyone who donated over 100 on my chat before this stream ends.
Yeah. Feel free to grab some of them. We could also talk about more of the news, because there's so much news
After
too.
I do like 3, 4 in a row, I like to slow down, because when I do it on my stream, it goes for about 90 straight minutes, and then I'm done. Because, this takes a little bit out of me. You got to calculate numbers, This is mental gymnastics I know most of you guys don't know anything about.
Did you say July 27th?
Yeah,
86.
yeah.
Oh, the same day as my sister. So that's a 4 then, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I thought you said you were a 33.
33.6.
You're a 33.6. He's a 4.
But there's another thing that Gary showed me later on.
Yeah. You can't stop.
I got it.
Stop.
So
Those are the secrets.
Okay. Yeah. So
Got to be GG Academy for that.
yeah. So I don't know what I can say. I can't
And
say.
just keep it to yourself, bro.
But a lot of the stuff has been pretty fascinating, pretty interesting to kind of look at, just like our current kind of political discourse, which also does seem like there's a larger kind of major shift, major change happening politically. I don't know if you've seen it. I mean, we're seeing it in Europe. We're seeing it here in the United States. We're even seeing a shift towards the right in places like Canada, of all places, where a lot of the political leadership.
51st state.
Yep. Hopefully a Commonwealth. I don't know if I want them to be a state. I don't know if I want.
No,
Canada.
I want to be second-class citizens.
Yes. Second. I could agree. Second-class citizens. I'm okay with that, but not citizens. We can't give them full power now.
No. They shouldn't be able to vote.
Yeah. They're crazy Canucks.
But I'm going to tell you this: Toronto's too big to be a Canadian city. We need that economy. We need Vancouver. We need Montreal. We need those places. And by the way, Alberta could be a state. They're that conservative over there. I wouldn't mind having them as a territory with more than just Commonwealth powers.
Yeah. They also have a lot of natural resources.
Take them all. Texas.
And they don't want to drill in Canada. They have all these rules and regulations saying, we can't really take a lot from the territory, as there's larger conversations about Greenland, larger conversations about Panama, and Trump doesn't play around. Look at that conversation he just had with Colombia. That was fascinating to see, specifically with Colombia saying, what, you're gonna mail us back our own people that are criminals? We don't want them. Send them back. And Trump was like, the hell? What are you going to do here? Well, we're just going to implement tariffs on you. And then, of course, the Colombian government kind of acquiesced here. It looks like there's also going to be a potential partnership with El Salvador, which is fascinating to see here, as there's conversations about specifically sending hardened criminals, violent repeat offenders that are American citizens, that aren't here illegal, that have no kind of lineage to El Salvador, literally being sent to El Salvador as a punishment, as they are now trying to work out a bigger deal with the government of El Salvador that will have American citizens shipped down there to their jails. Not a lot of people are saying this is crazy. This is
American
wild.
citizens?
American citizens that are repeat offenders, that are recidivist criminals that keep committing crimes over and over again. The plan here that has been kind of thrown around here is that those people would be deported to El Salvador to be put in their prisons, even when they're American citizens.
You mean if they were anchor babies?
No. If they're just repeat offenders.
So you could basically have somebody who was lived in America since the inception,
Yes.
and because they're a repeat offender, would be deported from the country.
To El Salvador and have to do their jail stint in El Salvador, which would be horrendous and horrible. This is the Rolling Stone article here, seeing Trump's developing a plan to deport migrants, including Venezuelan gang members, to El Salvador report. And then there was also larger conversations about sending career criminals down there to El Salvador as well.
I understand why they're doing that. He cleaned up the streets over there.
He did, yeah, but it's if you can't deport
You
American
can't
citizens.
deport American citizens to El Salvador. Now, if they're anchor babies, I'm okay with it. But if they been born here for and lived here for 30, 40 years, you can't do that shit.
Yeah. Well, this is the conversation that's at play here. We have this article here from the Daily
There's
Mail.
no way that's constitutional.
That Donald Trump is
it's the Daily
hinting
Mail.
specifically sending repeat American offenders to prison abroad, even if they aren't in the country illegally. So this is another wild plan here.
Trump's about that life.
Yeah.
Trump's about. I like this president. I was here smoking one with you guys on election day, and we called this. We said it'd be a landslide. We said that day America is changing, and I like this change.
Yeah,
I like this change. I don't have to look at no rainbow flag anymore or anything like that. I know my president is going to do what the hell he said he's going to do.
You felt that shift. We were in the room here. It was me, you, Roger Stone. We had Alex Jones on the line as well. We had so many great people in studio here with us for that very important moment. My desk is still covered with the champagne. The room here smells still a little bit like cigars. And we were up live for like 9 hours throughout that entire day.
That was a 9-hour stream?
Yeah, you came in at the later end of it.
Okay.
And man, it was just, watching everything unfold. We were expecting to go for days because we were unsure if we were going to see the results here. Overwhelming landslide, got the popular vote, got the electoral college vote, and truly, it was just, something. A lot of people were skeptical. A lot of people in our circle, a part of our audience, were saying, no way he's going to actually keep his campaign promise. And, they said that because a lot of presidents don't. This guy he's actually keeping his promises. He's delivering on them. And sure, he says a couple wild things, but you never know when he's going to actually get.
It gets results. Yeah. He said those hostages best be released before he becomes president, and then Biden took credit for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like other numerologists taking credit for my work. How does Biden take credit for what happened in the Middle East in the Crease fire? It's just absolute lunacy to me.
The way he went down to California and then kind of went to the mayor and said, are you kidding me? You're denying people access to their own land, to their own property? Are you freaking kidding me? The way he stood up for the average American that had to deal with so much government in California, that was beautiful to see. That was incredible. Suleiman, what do you think? Because I think you might have some opposing viewpoints here.
Yeah. So, look, at the end of the day, in terms of California, I do think that he needs to give more money to the Californians, both from a federal perspective, because as we mentioned earlier in the...
he doesn't want the liberals getting a hold of it.
Yeah, but they're still Americans, right? Yeah, and so they're suffering. And so in reality, like, again, he stopped foreign aid, but for Israel and Egypt, that money should be going to American citizens in California who are struggling, irrespective of their political opinion. Because part of being American, like, I know you don't like liberals, but part of being American is you literally get the opportunity to have your own political opinion, to have a different perspective. That's literally what makes America unique and makes the West unique. And so in reality, they're still American citizens and they should be supported. And therefore, they should be given a lot more money than the $700 that Biden gave them. So I hope Trump does that. And in terms of there being a shift in the landscape, I want to see that because I think I predicted before, and this is why I supported Trump before the election was, I did think that he would stop the conflict in the Middle East.
And he did.
And he did. So we were right about that. And so I'm vindicated in the support because a lot of people in my following weren't happy with the support.
They're not happy with you no matter what you do. They'll still find a reason to attack you.
Yeah, but at the same time, I did predict that I think he's going to find the Russia-Ukraine conflict because he promised that was one of his campaign promises.
It'll end.
I think he's going to find that a lot harder to do. And the reason for it is because he's used to using the more aggressive tactics against Putin. And part of that was like, we're going to financially support Ukraine. We're going to start we're going to put sanctions. All those things have already happened to Russia. Russia's done extremely well in Ukraine in the sense of, obviously not well in the sense of the war still going on for 3 years, but they've taken so much land that I just think in my mind, I think that what kind of deal can he do where Ukraine's going to be happy, Russia's going to be happy, and Americans going to be happy. I just can't see it other than him allowing to
Why should losers of wars be happy?
Well, the loser would be America because it's
the loser is Ukraine.
Well, Ukraine was a proxy of America.
Wait a second. A useful proxy at the time. It's no longer as useful.
It was
it already destroyed the Russian military to the point where they lost so many men. They can't actually. They're not like a threat to team up with China anymore and do as much damage because they lost so many men
from
Ukraine. Yeah, they're neutered. They're neutered. So it did what they had to do.
They're not neutered, but yeah, they are significantly impacted. They are
neutered.
They're a lot weaker. But at the same time, we're talking about the Ukraine-Russia war ending. I think that's going to be hard to do because He's going to have to give Russia the annexed regions. He's going to have to give Russia the separatist regions. He's going to have to give Donbass and all the other regions to
They already
Russia.
control all of Donbass.
I know they do, and that's the point. So now the question is going to become: Is Ukraine going to be okay with that, and is America going to be okay with that? Because America, uniparty, would fight against him on that.
Yeah,
issue,
the
so.
Ukrainians don't want to give it up. The Ukrainians
Yeah.
are saying not 1 inch. We're not giving anything up.
No, that's what they were saying in 2022, 2023. They've lost enough people so far. They're talking about putting women on the front line. So let me tell you something. There's a lot of people there who will take a peace treaty right now.
Yeah, way too many young Slavic men have died.
Yes.
Way too many.
100%.
It needs to stop immediately.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I mean, I've been following this from the very beginning. CNN was telling us it's going to end in a few days. The war's going to be over. I'm like, this is a war that's going to go on for far too long than a lot of people have expected it to go on. I was dead right about that. It's going to be a stalemate. It absolutely is. The Russians are making territorial gains right now, specifically in the Donbass region, but still, it's still
Every
at a
day they're
snail's
making
pace.
gains.
Yeah,
Every day.
Yeah.
Even if it's inches, they're making gains every single day. You know what's interesting about that? The gains actually started mostly in the Dragon Year. But if you go back a little bit before that, it was October 7th. The day the Palestinians, Hamas, went after Israel is the day the Russians went on the offensive. That's the exact day, Vladimir Putin's birthday. I personally believe that the Iranians gave Putin a gift that day. And the gift was, we're going to start a war over here. We know what's going to be the end result. We're probably going to lose. They didn't think it was going to go this far. And then that's going to take pressure off Russia and Ukraine. And what happened was Putin went on the offensive, and they've been winning the war, honestly, since October 7, 2023.
They've made significant gains this year. But just to add to your point, because I think it's extremely accurate, where you said that you didn't think this war was going to be short, I completely agree with that. Since 1945, modern warfare has increased and advanced so considerably that there's no war that is temporary.
Yep.
Because countries are so powerful now, you can never invade in another country and basically win in quickly or in a significant manner. And actually, my position is the vast majority of time, whenever you try to invade another country, you're generally going to lose, or it's going to be a long, elongated war. You saw that in the Middle East. You saw that when, for example, Israel tried to invade Lebanon. Lebanon was destroying them on the ground. Any kind of situation, irrespective of who the army is, when there be an invasion, they find it very hard. So based on that, Russia's done quite well to get some advancements.
Except for Syria, which was an inside job. And a lot of the top generals worked in with a lot of the resistance fighters as well.
But even Syria, Syria was from 2011 to 2024, and they failed. And it's only in 2024, just now, something happened. Russia obviously is the Russia-Ukraine war is fixated on that. Iran had their peace treaty. There's a lot of moving parts that happened, and it wasn't even a war. They just walked in and kind of took over. Like if you saw the Syrian army, they kind of gave up.
There wasn't even any major battles. They weren't even fighting. But we had some interesting comments from Putin today, specifically talking about how the larger peace measures were sabotaged before here. We, of course, were reporting on this as soon as it happened. A lot of people called me a conspiracy theorist. We were called fake news, and we were saying, hey, guys, the West is deliberately sabotaging a peace deal that was already ready to go, that the Ukrainians agreed to, the Russians agreed to. This war would have been over if it wasn't for Boris Johnson specifically going over to Ukraine and saying, you know what, we're just going to tear this up, and we're going to prolong this human death cult and suffering that is leading to huge astronomical numbers of life loss that we can't even comprehend. I think
He
we're
should
going
be
to find
arrested.
out.
He should be
Absolutely,
arrested
100%.
and charged for crimes against humanity.
Yeah, I think we're going to find out the staggering amount of these numbers soon, and it's going to be shocking for
He
a lot
was
of
a
people to
horrible
develop.
prime minister, by the way.
He was.
He was a horrible. But when was the last time you guys actually had a good prime minister? And don't tell me Thatcher.
Thatcher caused so many problems, but I think there's not been one for a very long time.
Yeah, Blair was.
I don't see anyone coming in a long time either.
Blair was the illegal war in Iraq, so.
He was not a good bloke. I'm trying to think of the lingo here from the UK. I haven't been over to the UK in quite a while, but he certainly
UK's a pig nation.
Yeah.
That means in a day, well, I guess it's the 29th already in the UK. That means right now the UK is their enemy year. So that pound is going down. Everything in the UK that can go wrong will go wrong. I promise people who are watching, because Suleiman's here from the UK, it's not going to be a good year. That's why Suleiman's here. here.
Should we go over more of these dates here? We have a $51 super chat from Mavalon 244 saying October 24th, 1990 male.
October 24th, 1998 life path. So again, when it comes down to 8 life paths, they're here for basically financial gain, and they have to balance the material and the spiritual, because the only thing that really can hold 8s back is their karma. They have to live a righteous life, because again, what goes around comes around. Since you're born on the 24th, home and family oriented, things of that nature, you might not do that well in relationships, and you're stubborn as hell.
A lot of people,
2026 is your year, by the way.
You know, a lot of you look at the comment section, because I'm looking at the comment section. Every time you do one of these, they go back in the comment section and like, oh my god, I can't believe it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good at this.
Yeah.
I'm good at this. It is what it is. Let's do a few more of yours. Then I'm going to do a few more of mine. Then we'll go again, and then we'll keep the process going until it's done.
Jay Reyes 123 says November 19th, 1991, male goat.
5 life path goats. So obviously, you know, I'm man enough to say people who are 5 life path goats are extremely handsome individuals. You have no trouble picking up women. Also, you're pretty chatty. You look very young for your age. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You're one of those guys who you're around the right people. You're around the right people. And that is basically something you can take advantage of. Not many people have access to people in wealthy positions just like you do. And you're like, how the hell does he know I'm around wealthy people? Because I know what the energy implies. I know what the energy entails. And by the way, your greatest gift is your ability to look in people's eyes and tell if they're lying.
Yeah. Steph, read this one from Bone Crush. It's on screen. Yep.
July 18th, 1973. I sent a super chat for $5 already. If you've read me already, it's okay. But if you haven't, then great. Let me know what you got.
9 life paths, and basically 9s are intelligent. Intelligence begins with I. But 9s do have a problem sometimes simping. And the fact of the matter is, whenever you're around female beauty, you can get a little bit, how can I say, a little bit not yourself. So I would encourage people who are 9s to be around the right influences, and things will work out for them. I do believe this. You're really good at that body language thing. You can, like some people, I just said, look at people's eyes and tell if they're lying. You look at people's body language and tell if they're lying.
Yep. We're going to try to read as many.
Do one more, and then I'm going to go to mine.
$20 and up ones. We got another one from Michelle Maya Bell saying December 28th, 1970.
Well, your enemy year is over. It's over in a couple hours. So here's the thing. She's born on 28th, but she's also a dog. So she's good at making money, but not so much last year, because you were in your enemy year. So your enemy year's over. Everything's going to start going up. That bag has always been there. I can look at your birthday and understand that. I understand you don't trust people, but trust me when I say this. All right, let's go to some of mine.
Let's go some of yours as on your channel.
Okay, because I got a whole bunch. Oh, wow. So the November 19th, 1991, he already hit me up, and then he hit you up. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to try to go a little bit deeper with you. I personally believe when I look at your birthday, you're probably going to be working for the government. At some point in your life, I think, not that you're going to be like some kind of poll, working at a poll station or some shit like that. You're going to be doing significant stuff within the government. That is my opinion of looking at this birthday. Also, 2027 is probably going to be one of the better years of your life. So, by the way, that was pretty smart going to him. All right, Gary, I've been excited to get a book of reading with you. January 7th, 1977. Same date. Yeah, you're definitely a dragon. If you're born January 7th, 1977, it's a dragon. But 1977 is a snake year, but January 7th that year is a dragon. So when I look at a birthday like yours, I look at all the 7s in your birthday, and you have quite a lot of them. So what that means is you're going to be extremely intelligent, but you're also going to need that loner time. You're also going to need that time to yourself where you want to be by yourself. So sometimes relationships don't work out so well for you. It is what it is. Now, looking at your birthday, obviously, you're an extremely good-looking woman. Any woman with 5 energy is going to be extremely hot. So here's the thing. You have someone who has 7 energy and someone who has 5 energy. It's one of those rare combinations where a woman has looks and brains. I mean, you talking about rare, bro.
I'll stay quiet on that one.
Hey, I mean, come on, man. We keep it real here, guys.
Comparatively speaking.
Next one, 4/2/1998. Oh, damn. We got a 33. So you're a 33 Tiger living in Houston, Texas. You'd probably be best in California. I understand you don't like the liberals, but the energy would be good. San Diego or something like that. Orange County. Looking at you, I would say the best part you have is your ability to force people to compromise. You're a 33 born in the second. So what that basically means is twos are the diplomats in life. If you look at some of the greatest diplomatic victories or peace treaties, even the Nazis gave up on May the 2nd because 2 is the number of peace. So I would say that your greatest ability is being a negotiator. Now, that's not a typical career for a Tiger. Okay. Tiger's typical career is not a negotiator, but this just shows you that numerology supersedes astrology. You need to be that guy that gets people to negotiate that no one else can. So an investment banker, someone who does like basically deals like this, anything to do with the housing market, you'll be very good at. And we'll go to do a few more of mine afterwards, but let's keep the show going because we're going to be here all day doing this.
No, this is fascinating stuff. It's very interesting to kind of listen to all of this, especially when you're just kind of going off. And it's always interesting to see you work. And every time we're out somewhere, every time we're about, you kind of call people out in real time as soon as you get their digits, and it's fascinating and it's always awesome.
I love when people say like this is all a con and everything like that. But why does everyone who I give a reading say I'm dead on?
When they're honest.
Yeah. When they're honest.
I don't know if you have similar experiences, Solomon, seeing Gary kind of work or seeing some of the stuff that he does.
Yeah. Look, obviously Gary's a good friend, and yeah, he's on the ball when he gives his readings. I think the problem he has is I think there's a few people who give you fake information or fake birthdays. Obviously,
Joseph
that
Wilson.
is a problem. That's a problem because what happens is people think that they're disproving Gary because what they'll say is, they'll give a fake birthday and then he'll give a reading based on the birthday. And then they'll be like, that has disproven numerology. But in reality, it hasn't. All it's done is like proven that you lied. Because the way you disprove it is someone gives Gary the date of birth and then maybe they write down what their personality is. Gary writes it down. That would be a good way of seeing if that's accurate as opposed to giving a fake one, because a fake one doesn't actually demonstrate truth or falsehood.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Someone gives you a false address, and when you get to the wrong location, ha, okay, idiot.
Yeah, that's not how it works. So exactly. No, I agree with you. So it's fascinating being involved in all of this. It's fascinating seeing you kind of work the way you do.
You know what else was fascinating? Seeing how fast Justin Trudeau had to resign
and fold
with his enemy year coming.
Yeah,
he came to power in 2015. 2015 is the year of the goat. He's born in the year of the pig. Canada's a cat nation. That's the triad of friends. And with his enemy year coming, he was forced to resign, and he will step down in 2025. It just shows you how the system works. Elon Musk is having a lot of heat come out of nowhere in the past couple weeks. Out of nowhere. People didn't think this was going to happen. Man got cocky. I did a couple interviews on this already. We won't have to go too far in this today. I already did what I did. But Elon is going to be humbled severely in 2025.
You voted for him, didn't you?
I voted for Elon.
Yeah.
Elon.
When?
Isn't he like really the president of the United States?
Well, I keep telling people to say that, so Trump hears that and fires his ass even quicker.
I mean, you just look at the situation with the H-1B visas, right?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. I was just about to talk about the larger visa issue that definitely transformed his image to everyone, especially after those algorithm changes. But sorry, go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, because Trump 2016 says, as part of his election campaign, I'm against H-1B visas, right? And H-1B visas, for the listeners, is basically bringing foreign workers into the United States. They claim it's the most intelligent, but in reality, you've got foreign workers coming for a wide range of jobs, and then American workers are not getting those jobs. In 2016, Trump said, look, I'm for the American worker. I'm against H-1B visas. 2024, Musk loses it about the H-1B visas. He starts basically attacking huge Twitter profiles, such as myself, Laura Loomer, Myron Gaines, and various others, and then takes away the blue check marks and demonetizes everyone. And he says,
it's a liar.
And he goes, I'm going to go to war with people just because you have a different political opinion. And then the interesting thing was his war was against, generally speaking, the vast majority of people who are pro-Trump and are MAGA. And what was interesting was everyone wanted to see what Trump's going to do. And it seems like Trump, bent the knee to President Trump,
Okay.
President Musk,
Okay.
and basically
Okay.
ceded the H-1B, and then
Okay.
he said, "I'm for H-1B
Okay.
visas."
Okay.
I was never against it.
Let
He absolutely
me
clear
let me
when
say
he
this.
was.
Let me say this. Musk spent how much on him?
$44 billion.
He did that before he was elected. But I mean, before he was even running. So, how much did he spend on his campaign in PACs? Like about 280, 270 million.
I believe so. Yeah, it was one of the biggest.
I think
campaign
over 100
distribution.
million.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It was bigger than Murray Mickelson.
it was about $250 million, somewhere in that ballpark, right? He had political capital with the president, and he wasted all that political capital on this one issue. Because ever since this issue, Trump has been pushed out. Musk has been pushed out of the Trump White House. And he's been doing it in subtle ways with helping people who Musk hates, with having his chief of staff saying, yo, you're not going to be anywhere near here. So he traded all his political capital on this one issue, and now he has no political capital left. Good trade, brother.
No, that's a good argument.
Yeah, we have the Times of India specifically reporting how, and they're asking this in a kind of in a question-like way, saying, is Elon Musk's access to Donald Trump being limited by ICE maiden Susie Willis? Here's the truth here, and they go on in their article and they kind of describe what's the larger situation here, and then Elon Musk actually reported and responded to this specifically by laughing and dismissing a lot of these particular claims. So it is interesting to see this kind of interpersonal relationship, especially now with the onset of this Stargate project, which also has sparked a lot of kind of conspiracies, a lot of very interesting conversations, especially around artificial intelligence, as the NASDAQ got hit pretty hard here because of DeepSeek, according to a lot of analysts, something that the Chinese developed that is far more superior, powerful.
NASDAQ was founded in the year of the pig. You can expect it to take a beating in the year of the snake.
And then that also is tied in with crypto, and then crypto went down too because it's tied in with the NASDAQ, pretty
Crypto
seriously.
goes down for a few days or a few hours. It goes right back up. The real crypto correction is going to be 2026, year of the horse.
And do you think it's going to go up or down?
I think in 2026, we're going to see Bitcoin around 10,000 levels, if not below.
Wow. So in terms of like DeepSeek, I know the Chinese came out with it and it's meant to be a ChatGPT competitor, but I have question marks about it.
Yeah.
I don't think the Chinese I have a huge question marks about the vast majority of Chinese technology, because a lot of times
It's
like
stolen.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
It's bootlegged.
It's like a bootlegged America copy, and therefore when they're trying to say this is like 10 times better or whatever it may be,
50 times smarter and only
And-
done for 5.5 million, allegedly.
And the reason it affected the stock market was because the valuation of it is like 0.2% of the American version, the ChatGPT. But I have serious question marks. I doubt that's true. I doubt it's got the same standards as ChatGPT or any kind of American company. So, like, I doubt all of that.
Plus, its political bias isn't going to be as vast because there's really no free speech in China. So how can you have...
I mean, there's no free speech.
You could
anywhere.
criticize the Chinese president? Never.
Yes. Or bring up, a lot of other things that the Chinese government doesn't want you bringing up specifically.
Well,
And-
interestingly, someone typed in this Chinese version about the Uyghurs, and it was like literally didn't give you no response.
Yeah. There was someone else trying to find that one famous photo of someone holding grocery bags in front of a tank, and that AI couldn't find it for some reason. So it's not really that intelligent in
let's
those
be clear,
aspects and realms.
we have the same problem with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
You have the same problem with Grok.
Yeah.
You have the same problem.
We have a worse problem because our problem is woke. Our problem has been developed by a lot of these blue-haired, armpit, flip-flop wearing yuppies in San Francisco that have literally created a system and software that argues for the extermination of all of humanity so someone doesn't get misgendered. That's literally what AI is arguing for.
I mean, I think it's very much controlled by Israelis, and therefore you've got a scenario where it's very much not specific not honest about a lot of answers that people ask on those ChatGPT, whether it's ChatGPT or Grok.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see this kind of landscape because I think there's also a lot of hype. There's also a lot of lies. And there's so much when it comes to artificial intelligence that already is somewhat disrupting society. But I think the ways that we are kind of headed to, it's kind of perplexing because in one way it's extremely dangerous, but in another way it's extremely amazing and could provide some real logical kind of solutions and answers to our society that we've been kind of plagued with that can't be answered, that it could potentially help us answer. Especially when it comes to the medical industrial complex, especially when it comes to personal health and just being able to kind of decentralize things personally as well. I more lean into the Terminator Doomsday reality, though. So.
I'm the same. I have serious concerns about AI. I don't think AGI is possible, but in terms of like specifically, and that's more from like a philosophical perspective, but I don't think AGI is like possible. But when it comes to AI, I have serious concerns both in terms of like how it's been developed. You saw the reason why our conversation about ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Grok is really important is because if they're able to program these in a manner that is extremely biased, I think we all confirm it as biased, although we have different reasons for why we believe it's biased. And if that's the case, then just think what would happen with AI. You have things that are basically devolving human empathy, human emotion, human interaction, human logic away from things, giving it to the programmers, and the programmers are generally speaking the same type of people. And therefore, you've got a scenario where it's going to be...
Harris voters. Those type of people.
Well, or Israeli controlled or Indian controlled. And therefore, you've basically got a scenario where they can control AI, and therefore the path we're going towards or where we could end up in is extremely concerning, which you said is probably an extremely plausible risk.
Yes, and then there's also the kind of larger kind of extermination of humanity that I think is also real when it comes to a superior intelligence, essentially ruling over a lower intelligence as well. Yeah,
Skynet's going to be real?
Yes. So,
Wow.
I don't think there could be superior intelligence. That's the thing. So, but I think in terms of programming, yes, you could have a scenario where, let's say, an AI would be like making some kind of calculation, and based on that calculation, they're like, oh yeah, guess what? Let's blow up Canada because it might save humanity and that's just like crazy because humans
in the
wouldn't do that.
predictive future, and later down the line, we need to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we do.
So if you could take out Hitler before he is born, you wouldn't do it?
No, I wouldn't do it.
No? Okay.
I think there would be somebody. I think once you start
And
messing with that, someone else would kind of pop up.
Let me explain now, because that might get snipped out and I might get banned on Twitter. Because and the reason for it is because with Hitler what happened in Nazi Germany was one of the most horrific, horrendous crimes that happened, right? But then the result of after 1945 is probably the reason for a lot of the development we had in society, a lot of the situation we had in society. If you look at, for example, development in a wide range of industries, both in terms of aerospace and in terms of a wide range of things, I think in the end, changing the timeline doesn't always end up being something positive.
Yeah. It also brought us the nuclear weapon, which Donald Trump is actually talking about getting rid of worldwide. Let's get into that conversation before getting into some of the other super chats here. Gary, I don't know if you're ready, but you've been on the tear here. Steph, we have 2 first timers on screen right now. Can you read them off really quickly?
First timers.
On the screen. Look at the screen. Speak into the mic.
Where am I looking? Are you talking about
Right
Alejandra?
here and on the YouTube.
Is it the Alejandra one?
Yes.
She says, super curious about my son. He's 10/01/2019, and I'm a snake 4/5/1989. He's a pig. I've heard you say enemy signs.
Give me those birthdays again.
So the sun is a snake, October 1st, 2019. Okay. And she's a pig, April 5th, 1989.
Yeah. So I know that was a difficult pregnancy. I know that. And here's the thing. You guys are blood. You're going to love each other no matter what. But as the child gets older, expect more pushback as an adult. Just expect that, because people who are enemy signs think differently. You go left, they go right. And you're going to see as the child gets older, you're going to see more of that come out. Now, quite frankly, you're going to have a good year, but you have to watch out for your child that, he's only 6. Obviously, he's very small and stuff, 5, 6 years old. But, make sure he's not on the monkey bar so he doesn't fall off. Make sure he doesn't get in the fight in school. Even with the kids, you got to be more careful. Like, for instance, my kid is born in the year of the dog. This was the year of the dragon. Even last year, 2024, year of the dragon. I was more cautious with him. Even being so, he was stung so many times by jellyfish. It was like amazing how many times he was stung by jellyfish. And if that's the worst thing that happened to him, good stuff. But still, it's not pleasant when you hear your child cry and, not much you can do about it. So you have to understand that you're going to have a good year. He's going to have a little bit more of an off year. Obviously, 5, 6 years old, not going to do that much. But just make sure he's in more safer situations. You don't want to make sure, something could happen. Your dog. You want to tell the story?
Oh yeah, no. Atlas got hit too right before the start of this one. This stuff was kind of more part for that one as well. I think she got bit by something, and then she was acting a little weird. And
so again,
she
this
scared
is
the crap out of
the
everybody.
animal, the dog, but they get affected the same way that people who are born in dog years are. And the dragon year is almost ending, and right at the end, the dog gets hit. See, people get real cocky at the end, like, oh, I beat this stuff, and then something like this happens. I've seen it too many times with human beings. I'll never forget it was January 2015, still the year of the horse, and one of my rat buddies, he's like, man, this is all nonsense, man. None of this stuff works. Shut the hell up. And then 2 weeks later, he's in the hospital. There's something wrong with his foot, and no one knows what the hell is wrong with him. He can't walk. And he's like, well, how come this happened in the goat year? I'm like, no. The horse year ain't over, buddy. So it always changes somewhere in late January, early February. But here's the thing. You're born in the snake year. Your kid's born in the pig year. It's unfortunate that it happened that way, but it did what it is. So you got to do the best as a parent to understand. Don't go overboard. You might have a tendency to get mad. Cool down.
We got another one from Aliens and Dead Spencer saying 1/26/86, so January 26, 1986. Female, quote, been a rough year already. What's coming? ?
Well, the year just started, but here's what it comes down to. You're a 33-6, and as a 33-6, you're going to be bouncing back and forth between both vibrations. So as someone who has 36 energy, you're definitely going to be more 6 than 33. Ain't that right, my friend? But when it comes down to it, you're going to have that energy where some days you want to take over the world. Some days you just want to be a homebody. But you're born on the 26th. And the most important part about that 26th is not just money. That's more with the 17 and the 8. But with the 26, it's karma. So again, I don't like being a mean person. Oh, sometimes I do, but not this moment. You have to what?
No, continue.
You have to understand that if you have that number 26, you have to be very, very careful of your karma. You must live a righteous life. You literally have no choice. My advice to you, if you're having a tough time, travel more. The more you travel, the better you're going to feel.
Interesting. Are you ready for some more?
Yeah, go.
Steph.
Sky High says 7/11/86.
7/11/86, another 33-6. They just come in bunches, bro. A lot of these people. Well, the last one was a tiger, but this last one was an ox. This one's a tiger. If you're in America, it's probably going to be more pushback, because you're a tiger. You felt it. Mm-hmm. One of those things is you're not just a 4, you're also a tiger in the monkey country. So you're getting hit the double whammy, which is why the IRS got on your ass, because you had that double. But do you know who else was a famous tiger who was in Hollywood and he got hit with tax evasion charges?
No.
Wesley Snipes.
Ah, okay.
Wesley Snipes. And, when it happened, I heard all the people on the radio, all the people in the news. Yo, man, they're trying to run up a black man. This is racism. No, it might be some sort of ism, but it's not racism. It is called people born in tiger years are going to have difficult times in a monkey nation. But by the way, he's still very successful because he worked hard. But the fact of the matter is,
no other option. I have to.
The fact of the matter is, being around this energy held him back, just like it holds you back. Now, because you're born in on the 11th, you're old soul, and quite frankly, I think you're doing well financially based off your birthday and everything like that. But I will say this. You have a lot of charisma. You look very young for your age. Take advantage of your abilities. Do one more.
Absolutely. Steph.
All right, we got Bobby Lane. Here you go, Luke, but 10/25/89, let's go.
10/25/1989. Mm-hmm. So here we have a nice combination of someone who's an 8 life path about that bag, but someone who's also born on the 25th and a snake. So you have one of those good birthdays when it comes down to intelligence and making money. A lot of people are just very intelligent, but they can't make money. A lot of people who are intelligent, a lot of people who are rich aren't that smart. You've actually seen that, haven't you? A lot of people who are actually rich, they're not that smart. You will use your significant IQ level to figure out how to make money. You are a hustler when it comes down to an intellectual hustler. You will figure out the best process to make money. A day trader, something like that would be great for you. You're also a no-nonsense guy. You can look at people's eyes and tell if they're lying. I expect you to have a very good year, especially after your birthday hits. You're going to have like a 3-month cycle where you can go hard. Until then, understand this. You're in a 7-year cycle. Learn as much as possible in 2025. After your birthday hits, 3-month window until the horse hits, go hard and make as much money as possible.
For me, it's just go hard all the time.
No. You have to understand that sometimes, no matter what you do, you're not going to make it. Why even try? Why waste your time? Why get the added stress? Rest your neck. There are some days where, like, if it was a 7-day or something like that, I'm not chasing money. I'm laying down reading a book. Because if I make money that day, it's going to be a small amount. It's going to be insignificant. 8 days, chase money. 28 days, chase money. 7 days, chase knowledge. 5 days, chase girls. You know, you got to know when to do it.
Interesting. Have you implemented any of this in your life, Solomon?
Yeah, of course. Like, I believe in it. That's why I made sure I wasn't in the UK when the shift happened, as an example.
Yeah. So you're leaving the UK?
No, because like, if you believe in this, that basically once the by the way, correct me if I'm wrong. This is my assumption. Mm-hmm. So that basically when the shift happens from the what was it again? The dragon year to the snake year.
Yep.
Obviously, UK is a big country. You don't want to be in the UK when that kind of change happens, because I think it will have some kind of negative impact.
For that transition.
Yeah. If you're in the states of Ohio, states of West Virginia, you know anyone there?
Yes, I do.
You know, people who are born in pig states need to get the hell out. Like for instance, I'll give you an example.
Just for the transition, or just for this entire year?
The whole damn year, in all honesty, but the transition is just as important. So here's the thing.
It imprints, right?
It imprints. Yeah. So I'll give you an example. Do you remember Minnesota was burning in 2020?
Yes.
Minnesota was founded in a horse year, just like Kobe Bryant was born in a horse year, and Kobe died in a rat year, 2020. In Minnesota, the horse state, burned in 2020. Same reason I was able to predict it would be a tough year for California. Those are the worst fires in California history. Like, most people would say, yo, Gary, they happen all year. These were the worst fires in California history when it comes to property loss. They lost a lot of property, no matter what your conspiracy theories are. And the state was in its enemy year. So if you're in Turkey, if you're in India, if you're in Pakistan, and by the way, I'm not being anti-Islamic. Tell them this is how this stuff works, man. People in those countries, because you'll be surrounded by that energy and using the country's currency, it's going to have issues. The rupee, short the hell out of the rupee.
So like,
I got a smile on you there, huh?
I just want to, well, it's Indian rupee and Pakistani rupee, but I just want to like, so for me, the reason why I like do believe that numerology has a significant basis isn't just based on like some kind of like voodoo thing. Like, because I think it marries up with my positions both from a theological perspective and a philosophical perspective. If you look at this world, this is my position anyway, this is my view. I see this like world as being the mentation of the mind. And what I mean by this, I don't believe that the world is real. I believe it's all like an illusion, a mentation of the mind.
A hologram?
That's another way of putting it. And the reason is because like, having read a lot of philosophy books and done a lot of writings, I think there's a problem when it comes down to explaining the mind-body problem, the soul being connected to the body. And the real answer to that is that actually, like, in my view, is some form of idealism where really it's only the soul that's real, and therefore the world is just a mentation of the mind. If you believe that, then it means that the soul is everything. And if you believe that the soul is everything that mentates the mind, then of course, what the soul has the impact. For example, for me, I'm a 33. So I believe that meditation, that impact on the soul will have an impact on your reality, as will all the other numbers. And when all those numbers come together, that's like the universal kind of meditation that occurs. So there's kind of like in my view, a deep philosophical, theological basis for it as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting kind of understanding to it because we all have our kind of own interpretations of this kind of existence, this multi-dimensional kind of frequency that we're all kind of a part of, but then there's more kind of realms to it that we have no clue about, no idea about. And, you know,
some less than others.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of people are, you know, especially a lot of people in the kind of scientific community, they're so kind of focused that they never take a step back and kind of examine or even think or even speculate or even theorize about the multiple dimensions, the multiple energies, the multiple kind of pathways that we could all be intertwined and involved in, that we have no clue, an idea about. You know, there is some kind of code. There is something else going on here. There is a matrix going on here. And it's just fascinating to kind of understand because there's so many different interpretations from this historically, biblically, religiously as well. And a lot of it kind of acquiesces to knowing deep down inside of your own kind of your heart here.
Let me do a super chat real quick.
Yep.
11/26/2001 male. How do I navigate my 9-year and wife 5/23/2001? Well, you did really well with the wife. She's definitely a looker, but here's what it comes down to. In a 9-year, it's not about starting new things. It's about ending things. So whatever does not serve you, this is the time to get rid of it. It's basically trim the fat time. In a 1-year cycle, you go hard. In a 1-year cycle, you start new things. In the 9-year, you end things. So that's what I would tell you to do in a 9-year. End things. Obviously, you know, as a snake, you still want to imprint energy, still want to work hard. But this is not the year, even though it's a snake year, for you to go hard until your birthday hits. Then you're going to have that 2-month window when you can go hard. So I would say on 11/28/2025, start a LLC.
And again, just for the people watching, we're live on Gary's channel, GG33 Academy on YouTube. We're live on my channel if you're watching from all these other platforms, because we're also live on Facebook.
He's got the big channel.
Yeah, we're live on Twitter. We're live on
we're live on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah. Can I do that to somebody? I won't say a name though.
Yeah, we're live with a lot of places, but the main place we're going to be going to for the conversation is for the super chats on Gary's channel and on my channel on YouTube, because we're able to see them, we're able to read them, and then of course we also have our membership program, LukeUnfiltered.com, that people get to call into. If anyone wants to call in and be a part of the conversation, they can just by signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com, and then they get the members area, and then they get members videos, and then we get to hang out, and we do hikes, and we do range days. We do a lot of really cool stuff for our memberships that we have 12 plus years of content for.
12 years.
12 years. Yeah. I've been doing this for about 21 years now.
So you're a vet.
Huh?
You a vet.
Yeah. I'm labored.
You got a lot of mileage on you, bro.
A lot. I think I've made thousands and thousands of videos. I've given out like tens of millions of flyers easily.
He's a ran-through talk show host.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if that doesn't sound too good there, Gary. All right. We like to be virgins here. All right, we like to be a
tiger being a what? What?
Hey, now, I'm a virgin. I don't know what you're talking about here.
Only tiger I know who's a virgin is a guy we can't say. That's it.
Okay, I think I know
Disavow.
Disavow.
I think I might know who you're referring to, as people will now guess in the comment section. But yeah, 21
Keep that
years.
chat moving.
21 years a part of independent media, seeing this kind of landscape, and I'm always kind of surprised. I'm always flabbergasted at the larger developments. I think we have really reached a kind of pinnacle, a really kind of scenario and situation where the energy shift is real. I think anything is possible. I think more than ever, people understand, like, hey, the government is not going to look out for me. The government's not going to have my best interest at heart here. I need to take charge. Yeah. I need to make the right decisions for myself. I need to take care of my health. And I think 2024 was essentially the year that a lot of people realized that the conspiracy theories were true. Mm-hmm. And I think 2025 is going to be the year where a lot of people act on this larger new knowledge that they were given in 2024.
I think 2025 is the year of the occult. I think by March, April, there's going to be so many people copycatting me. Here's what it comes down to. This is the year of the snake. This is the type of information that dominates in the snake year. And next year it'll be something else. Just like 2024 was very religious. 8 is number of religion. So last year there was a whole bunch of religious debates on Christianity, Islam, and everything else. Now it's going to be more into the metaphysical science. Everything goes with its energy.
Yeah. And we're kind of seeing that, especially with the larger conversations that were happening surrounding these drones, which today, according to the Donald Trump administration, was specifically the Biden administration flying them. But the conversation that was surrounding these drones, because the conversation started actually in the United Kingdom around November. And in the middle of November, there was this one particular incident that was reported in the UK newspapers, really wasn't reported in America, highlighting how there was an American base that was just swarmed by a bunch of drones, and then the drones just kind of went away, and no one knew what was actually going on here. There was other reports of drones flying in and out of water without facing any kind of resistance, and there's larger speculation, even from Tucker Carlson, specifically describing how a lot of these creatures could be, quote, interdimensional, how they could be aliens, how they could be other kind of entities. That's what Tucker Carlson was saying, and that's the larger notion that a lot of people believe. I know, Steph, you look into and research a lot of this stuff too, specifically talking about how these creatures could have came from the inner earth or the oceans, and that was
what are we talking about? Reptilians?
Drones,
reptilian drones,
interdimensional creatures, interdimensional beings. Individuals. Again,
people call me crazy, man. People call me crazy with the numerology. Yeah. They'll spit out the reptilians, grays. Listen. Those are military things controlled by the United States government, okay? How do you know this? F-35s weren't launched to destroy them. A lot of people are saying they were Chinese or anything. If that was true, they would have shut them down. The government has technology we don't know about. Accept the truth. Their and they said when drones even came close to these drones, all the power went out. Yep. So they have ways to do things like that, man. This should not surprise. This is not alien technology.
No, but people just want to think that it's like some fantasy story because that makes them feel better. Otherwise, you have to come to terms with the fact that we're not being told everything, and it's right in front of your face.
Damn, she just came strong. She was quiet for an hour, and then bam.
Yeah, we need more Steph to speak up here.
She was passionate about that.
That's the kind of more logical kind of explanation here, that it was kind of advanced U.S. military tech. We finally got an answer to it from the Trump administration. This is exactly what they said. I'm going to play the clip here because there's still some people not believing this.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy.
Research and other purposes? Why were they freaking people out? People were scared, legitimately.
Yeah. People were shooting at them.
Yeah, and the government...
Second Amendment, baby.
They weren't flying them here in Florida.
They don't have that in the UK, do they?
We've got knives.
They offend them. And
they wet people in. They wet people there, right?
Yeah.
We got knives.
Yeah. Wet.
Yeah, so, yeah, they
let me do one more super chat real quick. 1/28/1999. Last year made the most money in their life. See, notice how the 28s always start talking about money?
And they're the ones who are sending the biggest super
100%. So what you have to understand is, as a 28, money is going to be easy. But I'm going to tell you something. It's not just the 28 you have over here. You see the other one? See the other 28? 1999 is the 28. So I'm going to release something right now. The people who are born on the 28th in 1999, you kind of got 28. Of course, money's going to come easy to you, dog. It's supposed to. This is how the game works. But looking at your 3 life path, make sure you make the money legally, my friend.
Do everything by the book. I do everything by the book, and I still got hit. I made sure all my accountants. I'm like, hey, just make sure you do a good. Hey, just watch out, man. Hey, dot your I's, cross your. Still, I still got hit, and it's just absolutely crazy to deal with. We got another $100 super chat here. I think this is also from a 28th. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's from Jay Dilla. Says hi and say hello.
Hello.
Stay hi to all, especially Gary, the master. You dominated your debate against the Christian male. And then he gives his birthday.
We have another one debate with the. We changed his name to Joseph. It's not Andrew Wilson anymore. It's Joseph Wilson, and we're gonna have a debate this time on Christianity on the 31st in Fresh and Fit Studios. This one is gonna be a must see because I'm not gonna be very nice in this one.
Nice.
What's his birthday?
His birthday is September 17th, 1989, and his partner.
Okay, let me do one at a time. September 17th, 1989. So we have a double A life path. So again, what are we talking about? What did he just mention? The people who have the 28 energy, the people who have the 8 energy are sending the most onto super chats because they can actually afford it. This is what it is. People who are 8s are either very, very poor or very rich, and sometimes it goes like this. Usually almost never middle class. But here's the thing, brother. You're in the 7-year cycle right now. So even though you're good at making money, I'd probably slow your roll in the 7 year, don't you think?
Yeah.
Slow your roll in the 7 year, and after your birthday hits this year, then you have that 365-day cycle to go hard. Not now. Right now, it's learning, which is what you're doing right now. But slow down until then. By the way, you have a really critical nature. Small things really piss you off. Let it go. Let it go. Believe me, I understand what it's like to be vindictive, man. I'm a vindictive son of a bitch. But let the small things go. Just go after the big fish, like I do Elon. Things like that, man. Let the little things go.
Sometimes go after small fish as well, though.
I don't go after small fish that much. I just, if someone steals from me, then, you're taking food out of my kid's mouth, and then I'm going to holler at you. But, it is what it is. But here's the thing. I live in a different world. People attack me for clout. They attack me. No one
They do the same for me.
No one else in, like say, you, me, no one else in my space has any name recognition unless they're GG33. So they want to attack me to get attached to me somehow to be at least my rival. That's why they always want to debate me. I'm not going to debate any of you guys because it's going to be like Hollywood Hulk Hogan beating up some nobody. Even if I whoop your ass, which I will, you're going to get a name for yourself. Ain't happening, pimp. Ain't happening.
Yep. And then did we read the partner one yet or no?
Go ahead, partner.
The partner is 05/07 1996. So May 7th, 1996.
Okay, so we have an ox and the snake. That's a really good relationship where we said something about the people born in the 7th being extremely intelligent. That's the superpower about people born in the 7th, 16th, 25th. They have high IQ levels, but they need some time to themselves. So I would tell the person who's the husband, make sure the person born on the 7th has some time to themselves. And it's not like, it's something wrong with them. People born on the 7th just need their me time. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Did you say 1996?
1996.
That's right. That's right, isn't it? No.
Yeah, I thought it was an ox. Okay, I thought you said 97. No, the reading stays the same, except there's not much difference. Trust your gut then.
Do you want to do more or do you want to talk about the news?
Let me do a couple on this side. Yeah, you see what I said was going to happen? It's going to be nonstop. So it is what it is. 5/7/1981. Jerome, how you doing, my friend? So you have an interesting birthday. You are a 5 and a 7. So here's what the best part about it is. That's just what Donald Trump is. And people with those type of birthdays, they tend to thrive in the United States of America because America itself is a 5 and a 4. So here's the best thing about America. We have more freedoms in America than any other country in the world. Correct?
Yeah, true.
Of course we do. Because we have the First Amendment where I could say blah, blah, blah. You can't do anything about it.
You stand to lose it.
We'll get there. We have the 4 energy, which is why we have more people in America in jail than China and Russia combined. So you have the element of the 5, which is very freedom-loving, but you have the element of the 4, which is very restrictive. And that's why it's like police, law and order. That's why there's such a big police presence in America. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So you see those two presences. When it comes down to you, my friend, you are a person who are very disciplined because of the 4 energy, But because of the 5 energy, you probably have some of that entertaining in you. People who are 4s are extremely hard workers. People who are 5s are really good at entertaining. So it basically complements each other. The people who are 5s sometimes can be lazy, they can be reckless, but not when they have that 4 energy. So there you go. Let's do a few more of yours.
Yeah, we got another one here. I think this is the first time super chatter. Rafiki Smash saying, "All right, I will bite." January 25th, 1989.
January 25th, 1989. That's an 8 life path. Money up and down your whole life. Karma, extremely karmic. I've mentioned this again with 8s, and I keep mentioning it with 8s. You must live righteous lives. It's that simple. You are the type of person who uses your extreme intellectual ability to figure out how to make money. That's what you see when you have that 7-8 combination. They use their brains to make money. And quite frankly, you might not do the best in relationships, but I will say this, you're really good at making bread. Only thing that can hold you back is your karma, my friend. So make sure it's on point.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people should kind of live that way.
But yeah, but especially 8s. Like, for instance, say you go out there and you do something that's wrong. You might get arrested because you break the law, but some other people could do things. Maybe the karma won't come back to him for 5 years. Maybe like Suleiman here could take a whole bunch of people out and the karma won't come back to him until his next life. 8s, like a freaking boomerang. That's why I say you must live righteous lives. You have no choice.
Yeah. A lot of things that you kind of give out usually come back to you.
But some people, it comes back a lot quicker, and that's what I'm talking about with the 8s.
Yeah. And I think having some kind of moral framework and understanding that, I think is key for a lot of people. And I think we're lacking that in a lot of our society. I think we're seeing, especially in this new day and age of social media.
I think women just need to keep their legs closed and everything will be fine.
I think it's basically a loss of religion, right? You mentioned earlier about the UK being quite liberal. Well, the reason is because the UK is not religious anymore. So in 2011, UK was a Christian nation. It was 70% Christian. Now it's 40% Christian, 30% drop in 10 years. One would think, like, what's happened to the 30%? Has it gone to like some other religion? Is there a Muslim invasion, which is what the right-wing media tell you? But in reality, it's not. That 30% became atheist because atheism increased by 25%. Same with Australia. Australia was a Christian country. It became an atheistic country. And so when you see a lack of religion, a lack of conservative values, you then see liberalism, woke ideology, all of these things permeate in society, and then that takes you down the bad path. Now, in America, what I found is that religion didn't decrease. It has decreased a bit, but not that much. But actually, now I'm starting to think, and I haven't looked at the data, but just my assumption, because I was only thinking about this recently, is likely the reason is amongst white Americans, religion probably has decreased a lot, and it's actually because of immigration and maybe illegal immigration. A lot of Hispanics are quite religious, and maybe that's why there's a lot of Christianity still in the US. But that's my assumption. I haven't looked at it yet in the US.
Yeah, it's a shame because when you look at the Western world, you do see this kind of deliberate shift away from religion, and it definitely does seem like a lot of individuals make either the corporations their god or the government their god. And
never do that.
Yeah, those are false prophets.
Never do that.
Lead people down a pathway of consumerism, of gluttony, and a lot of people are kind of seeing all these kind of celebrities and all these kind of larger action figures as their kind of larger gods, and they stop even living their own lives, and they start living the lives of these people that are puppeteers to us, that are on the Diddy party list, that are some of the worst, most horrible individuals on the face of this earth that have committed unspeakable sins in order to get to that larger position of power. Because I do believe there is a larger kind of demonic evil energy, especially when it comes to a lot of the entertainment industry and a lot of what we see in movies and TV shows. When you see the way that it kind of unfolds and the ideas that they propagate, specifically against certain kind of demographics of people, but more importantly to that larger kind of subliminal message that usually is kind of injected into people's minds. It's not just a woke mind virus, but it's a virus. It's a disease that disconnects people away from families, away from religion, away from the spirit, and you add that to the larger poisoning of our society, especially when it comes to the calcifying of our pineal gland with fluoride. You have a population directly under attack that is meant to be taken away from energy, from source, from God, from religion. And sadly, I think this is why we're seeing such a larger downfall of Western civilization that no longer has this common kind of shared values like they did before.
I'm going to tell you this, man. I don't think you need Islam, Christianity, Judaism for any of that. You
I
don't need. Hold on.
disagree.
Let me just finish, man. You don't need any. People need something to fear. That's all it is. People need something to fear to do right thing. Here's the thing. I don't need anything to fear to do the right thing. You might. I don't. So if you need something to fear, go to Christianity. Go to Allah. Go to Judaism. Start believing it. I don't need anything to fear to do the right thing. Go ahead.
So I got 2 points. One thing is I completely agree with your point. And the question is, who's behind all of these industries that's causing that destruction? I'll let you guys do the research, obviously. And in terms of what you said, though, I disagree. I think, and this is something like I progressed in my thinking over time as I got older. I think religion is extremely important, whether it's Christianity.
To the low IQ.
Yeah, Christianity. Well, that's the vast majority of people, right? So
To the low IQ.
So the religion is extremely important for Christians, such as Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, because human beings require structure. They require rules and regulations. They require a systematic approach to understand that, look, I need to fall within these parameters to be a good human being. I need to do X, Y actions, and therefore these actions are going to be rewarded. Without that control, without that structure, if you let people basically be as they are, they'll basically become misguided. They'll go through all of the evils in the world, the gluttony, whatever the evils are, they'll fall into all of those traps. So I think that religion is extremely important for the average human being.
Oh, it might be in Africa. I don't think it needs to be in other places.
Every country.
Listen, let me just say this, man. When it comes down to religion, people might need that, but it shows you what sorry state society is in, that we need to lie to these people about some false prophets or tell people that a virgin had Jesus Christ. How does a virgin have a baby? These are logical things that, any good book can't, explain. I'm going to say this to people. Be a good person. Do the right thing. Don't worry about praying, because when you pray, you become prey.
I know Solomon might have something to say about that specifically.
I obviously disagree with your point about religion. Like I said, I do think it's extremely important. And in terms of praying, look, when someone prays, it depends what the reasoning is. If your prayer is solely based on worship, that's a different conversation. But if you look at the religions, irrespective of what the religion is, actually all religions, the aim of the game is to have that connection with God, to basically become almost linked in a spiritual manner. So it's not like your prayer, but it's having that kind of a connection.
Yeah, I think it also matters as far as community building, because when a lot of people have that kind of religion, they know people in their community, and they're able to become stronger and less easily conquered. And I think taking that away from them makes them more easily to be kind of dominated by these outside forces that kind of prey on them being alone and by themselves. And I think overall, when you look at kind of our modern society and social media, it wants to isolate us. It wants us to feel alone. It wants women and males not to have good, cohesive, loving relationships with each other. You look at the adult industry online and the larger kind of perversion around that, and the larger impacts of that. It creates not just, I mean, there's a larger conversation to have around that, but it doesn't just create immoral behavior, but not just degenerate behavior, but it also stops the larger kind of progression of any kind of man and woman coming together and having a family.
And the evidence of what you're saying is what I said earlier, right? You look at these countries that I've mentioned, when religion went down, woke ideology came up. And why woke ideology is a problem is you're seeing, for example, as you said, the family structure being destroyed, population collapse. All of these things are happening when woke ideology comes to the fore and religion collapses.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to religion, when you have a whole bunch of degenerate trash in society like you do today, yeah, it's helpful in cleaning it up. But see, once everyone is actually religious, like in the 1950s, 1940s, there's a glass ceiling on how far society can go. No one's going to be talking about pineal glands. No one's going to be talking about chakras. As a matter of fact, these good Christians and good Muslims would have burned someone to me at the stake in the 1800s if I was talking this. I'm a demon, I'm a devil, I'm a jinn. So let's not say it was all hunky-dory and when all these religious imams and all these religious priests were in charge. By the way, you might want to look at some pedophile records of the people in charge too. I'm telling you right now, if you're going to rely on religion, you will never get society to where you want it to go. You'll never get it.
Yeah, the Catholic Church didn't do themselves any favors with the amount of children that were hurt and abused under their reign of kind of control as well.
So
I think that's.
I'm going to comment on that. I disagree with that because this is my opinion. I mean, I haven't seen the data to back it up, and I think there is no data because I think when people have highlighted like Catholic priests, I think it's a way to demonize Catholicism. Because where's the evidence that this is happening disproportionately in Catholic churches compared to, like, for example, rabbis in synagogues or imams in mosques? I doubt that there is some kind of data that proves that, and I just think that this was actually a targeted attack against Catholicism, personally.
Well, in a lot of religions, you do see a lot of religious kind of sects do a lot of ritualistic abuse against children, especially in Afghanistan, especially when it comes to also the Middle East. And there's also a lot of that too. But also, as you mentioned, in Judaism as well, specifically with that one practice that we shouldn't talk about, that also is pretty disturbing as well. But, a lot of the woke religious people as well, like, holy frickin' cow. I mean, we had a bishop that was literally lecturing Donald Trump about the larger virtues of pro-immigration.
Oh, what's this bitch's birthday?
I could look it up.
Yeah,
here.
look up this this wacko's birthday.
I'm gonna look it up right now as we talk about some of the people that have absolutely. Didn't do us any kind of larger favors when it comes to taking religion and abusing it.
I just doubt that this. When there's a Catholic priest doing this, I doubt it's true because I know the grooming gangs in the UK.
Yeah.
That was fake news, and therefore, when you take that into consideration in terms of it being disproportionately happening, I think that this is like a targeted attack by those who are in power. And we know
against Catholics, you're mentioning.
No. So I'm saying it's fake news about Catholics and it's fake news about the UK grooming gangs in terms of both of them being disproportionate. And I think this is intentionally done by those in power.
Her birthday's not given. It says that she was born in 1959.
Oh, you're the pig. She's about to have fun.
Yeah. But
also, according to you,
it's
right?
not giving her
Like a pig would do this type
date.
of stuff, right?
A pig would put a foot in its mouth right before a snake year hits. Let me do a super chat real quick. 719, 2005, male, general reading. What's my weaknesses and a good place to live? Well, a good place for a rooster to live would be Texas, Missouri, or Florida. Those are all snake states. Roosters and snakes are best friends. Your probably weakness is I probably wouldn't drink alcohol, number one, if I were you. And when I look at a birthday like you, you're good at starting things and you work on finishing them. I would also say that one of your weaknesses is, how can I put this? You learn things the hard way because you're a stubborn-ass dude. The best thing I could say about you this year is you're a rooster, go hard in the snake year, but don't do it until after your birthday because you're in one of those situations where you're in a 7-year cycle until your birthday hits. After your birthday, go hard. Until then, learn as much as possible. It is what it is. You have to understand that everything, when it comes down to numerology, isn't that simple. You have to do numerology and astrology together or it's not going to work.
There's another one here. That's a first timer from Mr. Kitty that says November 26, 2001.
November 26, 2001. That is a 4 life path. So 4 is a good number for snakes. Snakes are very, very smart. Their superpower is wisdom. They just know things. They're the best at the occult. But snakes can be lazy. Could you imagine? Snakes can be lazy at times. So when they're a 4, it kind of, lights a fire on their ass. So that's a really good number for a snake. So I would say, unlike the other individuals I said, go hard as soon as tomorrow hits. That's one of the things about 4 is people say 4 is the number of wealth. It's not the number of wealth. 4 is the number of hard work, but those people outwork so many other people because that's how they make it. So I would say go hard in the snake year, my friend.
Yep. Steph, any other ones over
Yeah,
$20?
we have a new subscriber that did a $20. Luna Doska. New subscriber, shout out Gary, man is a G. Trump is setting the new standard for a president. 0317 1989.
03. So we have an 11 life path. 11 life path is an old soul, which means you've been reincarnated quite a few times to reach that. Control your emotions. Don't let them control you. Other than that, snake years come and go hard. And notice a lot of these snakes are coming in here. A lot of these snakes are doing it. You can feel the energy. The shift is on. I understand you dragons were on top. Now it's our turn. Now it's our turn. And when it comes to the snake energy, it's intellectualism. It's occult knowledge. And whether some people want to admit it or not, it's family. Snakes are very home and family oriented people. I find it funny. All these streamers always say when someone, does something wrong to them, they snake them. I've had every sign betray me but snake. Snakes are extremely loyal, but if you cross them, they get a bit vindictive at times,
They bite you.
By the way, the CIA is founded in 1947, year of the pig. They took out John F. Kennedy, born year of the snake. But now, since we're in the year, they were part of it, brother. Yeah. No matter what you say, they were definitely part of it. So enough. Yeah. So when
somebody
it comes down,
somebody else was
someone else was involved, and the biggest clue was John F. Kennedy was shot from the 6th floor. That is the biggest clue, and if you understand what that means, then you're smarter than most people. But I'm gonna say this. The CIA is in a lot of trouble this year because Donald J. Trump is president. And he's gonna come.
Yeah, and it looks like when you look at the larger kind of intel agencies and their control and a lot of their actions, holy freaking cow! I mean, there's calls right now for a new church commission hearing, which would be huge, and kind of unravel all of the horrible, nasty stuff that they've been a part of. I mean, we're talking about stuff that we know decades ago that we're already kind of freaked out about, like MK Ultra. Imagine the stuff that they were up to just a few days ago, just a few months ago when Donald Trump wasn't the president of the United States. There was people taking shots at Donald J. Trump trying to take his life. And it wouldn't surprise me if, of course, a lot of the intel agencies were responsible for that, as they definitely have a lot of dirty secrets that they do not want exposed.
I need to do a super chat. Yo, Suleiman, look again. A 28 life pass talking about money. 5'10", 1993, advice on relationships and making money. You're at 28, you should be able to print money. Anything you do, open a business on the 28th day. Sell products for $28. Buy something cheap and resell it. 28 can do anything when it comes to making money. That is what they're good at. What they're not so good at is relationships. And that's what you're asking me about.
That person could be a 1 as well, though, isn't it?
No. I mean, it's more 28. It's definitely more 28. You're born in the 1st. You also have, even though you're a female, you have male energy within you. You think like a man. Any woman born on the 1st, 10th, 19th, 28th is going to think like a man. You're a rooster, so you already have that cock energy. It is what it is, but you should be extremely attractive. And quite frankly, you don't look your age. So it is what it is. Let's do a few more here because this is getting a little bit overboard.
Yeah, we have a lot of them. We're
I
do
know.
Our best
I'm trying, guys.
Did
I not tell you this was going to be a problem?
I'm shocked. We never get super chats. We never get super
5/19, 1987. Hold me down, Gary. Well, I could do the best I can. I had kind of married, so it is what it is. But when it comes down to people, it is what it is. I mean, what do you want me to do, man? It says, hey, look, it says hold me down. Like, what do you want me to do, man? Anyways, cats love that type of humor.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
You are a psychologist. This is one of your gifts in life, being able to basically break people down from a psychological perspective. If you add numerology and astrology to it, it's going to be like psychology on steroids. I see you make money. I'm not worried about that with you. I see that you're going to be one of those type of people who looks very young throughout her whole life. It's not going to be an issue for you. What am I looking at over here? Travel in the 1st until your birthday. Travel after your birthday. Expect home and family responsibilities. So it is what it is. Got to do a few more, then we'll go to yours. I mean, it's not. It's wow. All right, 7/19/2005. Did I already do this one? You remember me doing 7/19? I don't think I did this one. No. Yeah, I already did. They asked what their weakness.
Confused. I don't know how you keep up with all these numbers, Gary. Because I'm like, did we do that one? The other one. I'm like, which one did we do? Didn't we do?
No, I did. Okay,
math was not my strong
I think
point.
I did these. I think I did these.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Let's do yours.
Yeah, Steph.
We got Stephen Bradshaw saying 7/24/1986.
Ooh,
single male.
That's your birthday.
7/27.
Oh, okay. You said 7/27.
Yeah.
Okay, you said 7/27.
7/24, 1986.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen. When it comes down to you, you're a born leader. When it comes down to you, you're going to be an alpha male. When it comes down to you, it's going to be home and family and issues and things of that nature. Quite frankly, expect a lot of hard work this year. especially after your birthday. Expect a lot of hard work. Until then, you're going to socialize more than usual. You can get bored more than usual. It is what it is. Who's next?
Yep.
We got
2026 is your year.
We got the Moon guy saying, pretty spot on. I am an old soul. I like the simple life. So that was in response to one of the ones that you had
read previously before. And everyone you read, I look in the chat room and everyone's like, yeah, that's spot on. Yep, that's me. Holy cow, he actually got me.
This is how you know. This is how you know I'm the real genius. Because when everyone fucking said all this stuff was bullshit, I kept with it. I kept with it. I kept with it. And all the other people, if you listen to all the other numerologists, astrologers, they would probably make you not believe in this because it's all generalities. It's all this. And some people might say this about me, but if you actually learn how to do this, you see there's a cycle with this.
I saw this guy in Vegas and he was like, I don't know, it was like 3-4 days. I was shocked. Like he was just hitting all the predictions, parlays. I remember him making like, what was it? Like
Are you talking about Gary?
Yeah, Gary, yeah.
I'm like, this guy?
This guy, like Gary, yeah. He made like, what was it? Like $250,000, $500,000 in that week. I was shocked.
And you saw it with your own eyes.
And just mathematically, like, it doesn't work.
Yeah, we need to go down there with my IRS bill to figure this out.
But then you'll get caught. So
yeah, it's like yeah, that's true. So there's that. Steph, anything else?
We got one more Gilbert guys. March 27th, 1980.
March 27th, 1983. Life path. Don't look your age as all threes. They're definitely one of those people who are blessed with looking young. They age like wine. You're very good at adaptive. You're very intelligent. You might have problems with addiction things. I'm just gonna say it. You might have an addictive personality, so that might be an issue. When it comes down to it, you're a monkey born in the monkey country, and that always benefits people. Just like being a cat in Canada, Cat Nation benefits them. So when I look at a person like you, understand this. You've went through a lot of things since your birthday. That 11-year cycle hits you hard. You've been emotional. Your outlook on life changed. But at the end of the day, you're learning. Congratulations, my friend.
Yeah. This was, I think we read everyone that was $20 and above. We tried to reach as many people.
You guys
as
are
we
lucky.
could.
I'm doing $100 and above on mine.
Yeah. How long do you guys want to go on for?
We can go another 30 minutes, man.
Yeah, because there's still, again, there's never a shortage of stuff to talk about, specifically when it comes to the.
Let me see if I have any more super chats over here. And I know I do. I'm probably skipping some people, so I just can't see it on my phone.
Yeah, if anyone does $20 and above, because there's so many, we're just going to read the $20 and above.
Start doing 50 and above. That way we'll slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, we could also do that as well. But in between, when Gary rests and relaxes.
All right, we got one more. I got to do one because as soon as they come in, I'm going to start doing them. August 4th, 1993, Rooster, overall explanation for 2025. I mean, when I look at you, you're a rooster in the snake year. You also have Obama's birthday, which is another one of those guys born on the 4th who's done very well in America. Whether he's born in America or not, irrelevant. He's in America. He's born in the 4th, and that benefits people because he's born in the 4th. You're born in the 4th. You're going to have the same exact type of energy. So, the thing is, you're also a 7. 7s are here to outsmart people. 7s are here to work smarter, not harder. That's what you do in life. You want to be a successful 7, you work smarter and not harder, and that's how you make it.
So are you saying if you're an illegal immigrant and you're a 4 and you come to America, you'll benefit?
You'll benefit until you're caught.
Until you get deported.
Yeah.
Until you get sent back to your country.
Hasta la vista.
I've kind of convinced myself through all of this that I just got to love hard work. And you could convince yourself of, the human mind is fascinating, especially the way it works, because you're able to I hate saying mind control because that's such a nasty word out there, but you're able to program, hypnotize yourself to say, you know what, this hard work that I'm going to be putting in here, it's going to be so beneficial. It's going to be so good. And you convince yourself, especially with positive thinking and visualization, like I'm going to do this. It's going to feel great. I'm going to work my butt off and I'm going to have something to show for it. I'm going to be so proud of it. So that's what I've taken from my kind of larger kind of understanding of what Gary told me. And, and I've implemented it. I implemented it at the gym. I implemented it here at work because growing up, I used to have this, idea like, crap, I don't feel like working. I don't feel like doing this. I don't feel like walking down there. But now I'm convincing myself if I go for a long walk, that's going to be incredible for my health. That's going to be awesome for my health. And I start actually kind of thinking and
Affirmations
believing in
for
it.
yourself.
Exactly. And before I even do the process, before I do the hard work, and it clearly has kind of set me up in a way where I'm able to actually achieve a lot of this stuff through just mind hacking myself, sort of in a way. I don't know if that kind of makes sense to me.
Gotta do another one. Sorry, man. Someone donated 200. 1984, 33 life path rat. So here's the beautiful thing when you're a 33 life path rat. Good thing I have him here. Even though he's not pure, we'll use him as an example. When it comes down to it, you have to understand that a rat's greatest ability is its ability to sense things. So as a 33 rat, that ability is next level. So what you should do is always trust your gut instincts. That's not advice I'm going to give all people. As a matter of fact, most of you guys shouldn't trust any of your gut instincts. Trust mine. But when it comes down to it, you, sir, you should definitely trust your gut instincts. Go hard because next year ain't going to be fun. It's just not going to be fun. Now, you asked me about your business. Right now, I see your business is a one energy. So when it comes down to one energy, it means people are going to be aggressive with that type of business. You're going to have aggressive customers. I would say to redo a LLC on the 28th day and you'll have more success.
Interesting. So for me, that's how I implemented my kind of understanding from what Gary told me.
I vehemently agree with that because it's like I said before that the mind is so powerful, so complex, and I do think it's the only real thing. So if you think about that, and that's the reason why I don't believe AGI is possible as well, because I don't think they can replicate the mind or replicate consciousness.
Quantum computers.
Even then, I don't think they can replicate consciousness. So because of that reason, yes, once you are able to understand that, the mind can just create anything. It can. And what I mean by that, not that I can create anything, but you can basically impact and implement anything into the universe based on the power of the mind. Yeah. And therefore, when he talks about, that person is a 33-6, or that person's this, or that person's that. In reality, it's about how you use your mind to implement that into the universe. And then I think it becomes...
Yeah, the power of the mind, the power of the placebo is so vast and huge that you could live through an experience, but then you tell yourself that something else happened. You can convince yourself 100% that the exact opposite of what really happened to you did happen to you. So this is why in a lot of court proceedings, firsthand, people, firsthand kind of witnesses aren't the best kind of evidence, because a lot of the times their mind plays a trick on them and they replay different events differently in their own mind until they convince themselves, yes, that's actually what happened here. So your bias and your kind of reticular activation system does matter, especially if you're caught up in a negative thought loop, especially if you're thinking people hate you, if you don't like yourself. That negative kind of thought loop that is kind of reinforced through social media, that is enforced through a lot of the kind of society and messaging that we're kind of inundated with.
I do hate Democrats, though.
Yeah. I try to not hate anybody. I'll be honest. I try to, I like to have my jokes and I like to laugh, and I'm willing to do a lot of, people know me, I like to do a lot of extraordinary things to laugh, and I like to play up on that in the extreme.
Film
sometimes.
of MSNBC on election days, that comfort comedy.
Yes, absolutely.
And just to add to what you said, more so women than men. So women tend to be a lot more, they recall events a lot worse. And it's why in Islam there's this thing about, witnesses, first-hand witnesses, 2 women witnesses to 1 male witness. And when this was allowed in universities, which is not allowed anymore because obviously feminism's taken control of the entire university structure, there was research done in the 70s which showed that after a traumatic event, a woman's recall was significantly worse than a man's recall. And so therefore what that shows is generally speaking, a woman's recall when it comes to first-hand accounts isn't as strong as a man's.
Wow. Interesting. I never even heard about that previously beforehand. But it does make sense because women handle trauma so much differently than men
So much
do.
worse.
Yeah, way worse. And it does have a larger impact on them, especially when it comes to their kind of larger kind of social dynamics that later on do play a role in this kind of larger pair bonding process that does happen between men and women.
And just as proof of that women their minds can easily be manipulated a lot more and controlled a lot more is the fact that if you look at transgender, right? If you were to look at social media, you'd think the vast majority of transgender is men changing to women. But in reality, the data shows the vast majority are women changing to men. And for under 16-year-olds, it's almost 5 to 1. Yep. It means almost all the women are basically not all the almost women. Almost all the transgender actually women transition into men.
And that's why the vast majority of marketing and advertising is centered towards women.
Exactly.
And when you look at the larger kind of hijacking of our society and a lot of these kind of societal engineers like Edward Bernays, they understood that if they're able to, of course, control the woman, they could, of course, control the family. Exactly. And I think that's why we
control the woman. The woman controls the simp. And they control the family.
Yes.
What family? They
But
took the
single
family away. They
No,
break it apart.
That's what he means by that.
Yeah. Single mother parent households also have had such a negative effect by it. But that's exactly what I meant. Thanks for clarifying.
This is why feminism is a cancer. And before
It's
you
the
say who
biggest
starts
cancer.
it, I don't want to hear it, man. We already know who starts it, okay? People could do any research and find out.
research.
But they need to repeal 19. Repeal 19. Repeal the 19th Amendment that gave women the right to vote. Repeal 19. You know what? I was saying that at the DNC. I was saying that right there. I was saying the RNC. I have been saying it for years. Until you fix what the real problem is, feminism. These women always asking for handouts. 80% of the debt in this country, the 75, is by women. Do you understand what they do? And then they always want social programs, which taxpayers pay for, which is communism, socialism. Again, look at the numerology. Woman, first vowel O. Communism, first vowel O. Socialism, first vowel O. Women tend to vote for these. Man, A. Capitalism, A. So we just see, even from the letterology perspective, we need capitalism. We need just men to vote. Now, women can run. I think women should be able to run for office.
What?
They just can't vote.
So wait a sec. They can't vote, but they can be in a position of leadership.
Yeah,
That
of
makes zero
course.
sense.
No, it doesn't.
Nah, bro. Like
What men is going to vote for him?
New York City low testosterone
What?
A lot of
Democrats.
Sims will vote for them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, as soon as you get rid of the single mother problem, these men won't be raised by women, and then you won't have as many simps.
So I disagree with that. I don't think.
No, just send the simps to Canada, bro. It's the 51st state. Send them over there.
I don't think women should be in leadership positions.
Ah, man, listen, you gotta let them strive for something.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. They're
Improving
never
the
gonna
families,
win.
improving their
It's like,
families.
yo,
Improving the
Suleiman,
household.
look.
In the kitchen.
Suleiman, look. Hold on, Suleiman,
a
look.
sandwich.
Go. You can win the lotto. Look, you can win the lotto. Just fill in the 6 numbers and win. That's all you gotta do.
No, but then she loses money. So the whole point
No,
is you should be
no.
telling women
Give them hope, Suleiman.
that shouldn't be
Give them false hope,
But
Suleiman.
that shouldn't be the hope.
No, it should be the false
What,
hope.
to be a leader?
Give them the false hope. That's all you need to do. They need something. Just like you were telling me a second ago with your religion, they need something to believe in. Give the women some false hope that they can run for something. They just can't vote. There you go.
That answers it. We got another $127.99 super chat for
Why the 99
LM.
cents, though?
I don't know, but 127.
Oh, 20, I get it. Okay, I
99
get it.
cents. Steph, can you read it?
Hi, everyone. Happy health and wealth to all.
Nah, I get it.
Advise on when to get married and have kids. Male, female. We have 2 dates here from LM.
Start with the male.
Male is 9/17/1989.
So September
9.
17th,
The snack.
1989.
Okay, so we got an 8. Go. Next.
Next is 5/7/1996.
Female.
Oh, gotcha. I would advise you to have a child October to December of this year. That would be my advice. If you want the exact date, if you want a child to be very good looking, have it on the 5th, 14th, 23rd, if that's your main objective. If you want someone who's going to be an old soul, someone born on the 11th, 29th. If you want someone who's going to be rich, 28th, 8th, 17th, 26th. That's when you have the C-section. Do what the royal family did. Do what I did. It works.
You better get busy, as of course.
I got one to do. January 25th, 1979, fell into debt. Okay, what's my advice? You're a 7 life path. Well, you would have to tell me exactly how you fell into debt. That would also do. Relationship advice. I mean, listen, man, you're basically a double 7. What do you want me to tell you, man? The relationship isn't the strong point there, man. The strong point is knowledge and things like that. You should be somewhat influential in some ways. I would say the best way for you to get out of it would be the stock market. The stock market has enriched a lot of people, but not Wall Street. I would I would basically look to short the NASDAQ this year. If you do that, I think you'll be good.
And then we have another $50 one, $52 one from Alexander Averson.
No. You got to do 53. 5 and 3 is 8. 2 and 5 is 7. 7 is not the number of money. 8 is. Do it that way. Educating people.
Steph, read it.
Single male, 9/10/1981.
9/10/1981. So you have an 11 life path. Extremely emotional. Someone who still should be in good shape because you have 11 and 1 numbers. Someone who's a very opinionated. You love to argue, boss. And someone who's extremely blunt. See, that's the thing with these damn roosters, man. They have no tact. They'll get in someone's face. They'll be very aggressive. The thing is, you can't be always aggressive in life. Sometimes you need some tact. Even tigers get this sometimes, but the roosters have issues with this all the time. So again, as a rooster, back down. But the good thing is, Year of the Snake is right upon us. Roosters rock.
Awesome. One here by Mr. Kitty.
Mr. Kitty says, appreciate your reading, Gary. Only thing I'm confused on is the fact that the Q app says I'm 22 LP. I've also been told I'm a 22-4. 11/26/2001.
You're more a 4 than the 22, but some can make the argument that 22 is real as well.
How can I use my 22 energy?
If you want to activate your 22 energy more, be by water.
Is it like the meditation of the mind as well?
How are you going to teach someone that? I'm just going to give people the tactics. Like if you go by water, it'll help it. But, that's probably the best way to lead them in the right direction, whether to say do this, and some people are never going to get there. So the best way to activate your 22 energy, which you have within you, I would consider you more a 4 than a 22. There you go.
There's the power by being in nature, being in water, being by the beach.
For some people more than others.
Definitely. For me, I don't know what it is about me, but I love being by water. I love being by the ocean.
That's why you live in Florida.
Yeah, I love it here.
Why is it? Why is it for him that he enjoys it?
It could just be a personal preference because I grew up in very cold Poland, and Poland was freezing.
That's probably psychology.
And I also grew up in a Baltic city that was on the water as well. So water was always kind of in my life.
What Baltic city was that?
Gdańsk. Yeah. So that was all
the way.
What
country is that?
Poland.
Poland.
Yeah. So that's all the way up north in Poland there.
They consider Poland a Baltic city?
Yeah.
I thought it was just Lithuania, Estonia.
No, it's right next to it. So
I thought it was only those 3 that were considered Baltic.
No, he said it's right next to it.
Oh,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
next
yeah,
to the
yeah,
Baltic.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
I think we have another one here by Coco Bourbon.
Coco Bourbon says 9/26/1989. Moved to San Antonio, Texas. Any advice for career this year?
I love a snake moving to Texas. That's good juju. So I'll give you an example. I am a snake, and I was born in Ohio. And I was a local celebrity in Ohio. I did well in Ohio. But the fact of the matter is, no one knew who the hell I was when I was in Ohio. Suleiman didn't know who I was. Luke didn't know who I was. No one knew who I was. It wasn't until I moved to the snake state, which basically matched my energy, that I started blowing up. So that's a good move for you. The thing is, you're still in a 7-year cycle until your birthday, whether it's a snake year or not. So again, learn as much as possible. I know it's difficult for 8 not to chase money, but this is not the year for it until your birthday hits. Then you have that 4-month cycle where you can open the LLCs and go hard. But learn as much as possible now. If you try to do too much, it might not end the best for you. Then you'll be like, oh, what happened to snake year? So wait till your birthday, then go hard.
Yeah. Gary, this was great. This was awesome. You surprised me with everything that kind of happened here.
Hold on. I told you what would happen.
You did. And you keep surprising me.
Told this guy exactly what would happen. I mean, listen.
We never get super chats. No one ever super chats, ever. And I'm like, okay, we finally got one. We set up xmrchat.com/Luke. We set up mysuperchat.com. And we never have gotten this many super. I think this is the most super chatted show we have ever had.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do now. Let's go through Trump's cabinet. We got to go through that right now. I want all of the people who were then. We're going to go through their cabinet. We're going to go through their birthdays. You got nothing to do. You came here to visit me, man. We'll get some food afterwards.
All right, let's see if we can get a nice visual
He's
representation.
like, I could be doing his spaces.
All right, so we have a lot of different appointees here.
Let's just
start with some of the most controversial ones.
Let's just go with the most important positions.
And Secretary of State is pretty important.
Marco Rubio, born 5/28/1971, correct?
Let me double check that really quick here, and I will.
I believe that's 5/28/1978. I believe that's the right birthday.
1971.
1971. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about
May 28th, 1971. Yep.
So Mr. Rubio is obviously a skilled politician. When you look at people who are pigs, they're perfect politicians. That is the perfect archetype for a politician. The Republicans' hero, Ronald Reagan, was a pig. People who are pigs are very funny. People who are pigs are very flaky. People who are pigs can promise you the world and deliver nothing. Perfect fucking politicians. So when it comes down to people who are pigs, you have to understand they have the charm. A lot of people who are pigs are extremely funny. So Marco Rubio has all those qualities. He's good with all the senators. He promised a lot in the 2013, what was it, immigration bill? Remember that?
Yep.
And it didn't work out too much. So this is my warning to Marco Rubio, who I met not so long ago. 2013 didn't work out for you. And the reason it didn't work out for you is because that is your enemy year. Mr. Rubio, you're about to be in your enemy year tomorrow. I would encourage you to handle war situations or not march into war too quickly, because I understand Cuba should not be communist and we should make that capitalist. I understand Venezuela is a problem, but I don't think you need to be going to war too quickly in your enemy year. It's not going to work out the way you think. So that's what I would advise Marco Rubio. Now, Marco Rubio is born on the 28th. That man knows how to make money. That man knows how to make money.
And he's the guy that brought money to Donald Trump. He's the one that Donald Trump saw. And I remember being there because there were serious considerations about making him potentially the vice president of the United States. And a lot of people were like, oh, hold on, wait, that's not a good idea. But inside of the Trump camp, everyone was telling me, this guy's bringing all the donors. This guy brought the Bush donors. This guy brought all the big time donors to Donald Trump that helped Donald Trump secure a lot of money. Yeah.
So. Remember those battles they had in 2016? Oh, yeah. They were epic battles. Yeah. Epic battles. No. And the way you get into Donald Trump's heart is you bring him money. You know, it is what it is. I'm not, you need money to win a campaign. This is how it works. So Mr. Rubio is a skilled politician. I believe he's going to be a successful Secretary of State long term. I think he's going to have a bumpy ride in the very beginning. Yeah, in the very beginning. Look, I don't even think he's worried about Palestine or anything. I don't think he's worried about. I understand what you're going to say. I got you, but hey, I want him to take Cuba. I personally, I understand it. You're not American, but I don't believe the Russians and the Chinese should have any options to put any missiles anywhere near the United States of America. Cuba, being a communist nation, is a clear and present danger. And we signed a deal with the Soviet Union to keep them peaceful, to make sure we wouldn't invade. The Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. That agreement isn't valid anymore. We need to take we need to take Cuba. We need to take Venezuela. And I understand you don't believe in that stuff, but that's the difference. I'm an American, and I believe we're entitled to that stuff, and you're not.
No, because you're occupied. So therefore, when you take those countries, you're taking it for a different nation. Whereas in terms of Venezuela, I think he's doing. I mean, I know they've got a significant amount of sanctions, hence why the country's not doing as well. But I think the people.
Why shouldn't a communist nation have sanctions on it?
Well, I don't think any country should have a sanction. It should be. It literally goes against your whole idea of capitalism. Like, we believe in a free market.
No.
You believe in a free market.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not capitalist. If they join the system, then they can join the market. But since they're not capitalist, why should they have any of the benefits of capitalism? They have none.
No, but if America claims it's a capitalist society
and
there's a free market,
yes,
you shouldn't be doing things like stopping the market. Why? As an example, banning TikTok. As an example, trying to overthrow governments, which we know is highly problematic. As an example, all of these things, and therefore putting sanctions on people is actually when you put sanctions on people, it's rarely for the government because the government doesn't feel the pain. It's actually the people who suffer.
Well, if you want to topple the government, and you don't always want to go in there with like soldiers, right? You want to use soft power.
It's never good to topple a government.
Why? It wasn't good to topple Saddam.
Look what happened to Iraq.
He came in his enemy year.
No, but
Saddam came to power his enemy year.
no, I get that. But if you look at what happened in Iraq post Saddam, it's in a much worse situation than pre Saddam.
I think more people were dying under UN sanctions with Saddam than they are now.
More people died after the illegal invasion of Iraq.
Not now.
And more people died after the illegal invasion of Iraq than before.
I'm talking about now.
Similar to Syria, more people died after the rebellion than before the rebellion. I think the vast majority of times, a rebellion, a coup is not always a great idea.
Yeah, the Iraq invasion was a big mistake.
I think the invasion of Iraq was a great idea. I'll defend it. I'll defend that right now. There was a weapon of mass destruction Saddam was holding. Hold on. You know what the weapon is. There was a weapon, and it wasn't nuclear energy. It was called the euro. He wanted to destroy the petrodollar system. Iraq was selling their oil in euros. They were trying to get around American, Saudi, basically petrodollar system. They wanted to bring down that system. He was a clear and present danger to America and the petrodollar. We went in there and removed it. We are empire here in America. That's why we're allowed our citizens to have more rights here than anywhere else, because we are empire. And that comes from, you guys don't even have any guns in the UK.
Got knives.
Okay, whatever.
But coming back to the point, I mean, you're not an empire, and the whole problem with invading countries is the harm that you cause, as an example. And in addition to that, when you say it's the American empire, I mean, we know the control, so it really is.
Really if that was true, we would have bombed Iran a long time ago. I saw Netanyahu in the Senate, I think it was 2004, 2005, when Bush was president, telling people we need to bomb Iran. If the Zionists had that much control, it didn't happen under Bush. It didn't happen under Obama. It didn't happen in the first Trump regime. It didn't happen under Biden. If they have so much control, why didn't they bomb Iran and under any of those presidents?
Well, Iran was also able to become more powerful because of the invasion in Iraq,
That is true.
which created a vacuum of power and allowed Iran to have more of a sphere of influence in the region as well.
I personally believe Khomeini was asset, because if he wasn't, why'd they allow him to run his mouth in France for a year before he helped topple the Shah?
So the Iran argument isn't great, because in reality, during that time period, the United States of America has been attacking these specific nations for Israeli interest, and you don't, logically, from a military perspective, you don't attack all the nations in one go. Now, the only reason they didn't attack Iran actually is because of Donald Trump, and that's part of the reason why I did support him before this thingy, because the military-industrial complex were pressuring him. He said this, John Bolton, and forcing him to literally invade and bomb Iran, and he said no. So there actually was a plan to do so, and I do believe that there is a huge risk with Marco Rubio being the Secretary of State that may happen.
Yeah, I think the head of the CIA is going to be more important here, John Ratcliffe. I have his birthday pulled up too.
Go ahead.
But when it comes to like U.S. foreign policy intervention, I think it's fair to say that the American people were screwed over with a lot of these kind of wars that didn't help out the American people.
If the American dollar defaults, then guess what? We all go broke.
Yeah.
We all go broke.
But at the same time, we spent billions and trillions of dollars on what? Destroying a nation and then rebuilding it? That made no sense. There could have been other pressures that could have been done.
They tried. Yeah. They tried with the CIA to take out Saddam. It didn't work. They tried for years to assassinate him. It didn't work. It's only the American military is only used when the CIA fails. And guess what? The CIA sucks lately.
Let's talk about the CIA, because the new head of the CIA is John Ratcliffe. His birthday is October 20th, 1965. And this is the new leader of the CIA.
1965, year of the snake. So we have a snake in charge of a pig organization. He will destroy you guys from within. Yeah. He's going to rip out the carcass of the deep state within the CIA. I love this.
And guess what?
I love this.
On his first day, he also released the report specifically saying that this global sickness that came out in 2020 came from the Wuhan laboratory.
I love this.
So he just released this. They won, as the CIA has their fingerprints all over it with their money. Echo Health Alliance, Peter Daszak, all of that money was essentially given by the CIA to do this kind of function research in Wuhan, and then the CIA and other intel agencies went to social media and covered that up and destroyed people's lives for even talking about it. And now the head of the CIA just exposed how the CIA thinks it was also a Wuhan lab leak.
This leaked a long time ago. They just covered it up again.
But the CIA admitting it now?
Yeah,
that's
because
huge.
You have a snake in charge of the CIA. This is awesome. You can think of anything better than this. In a snake year, you have a snake in charge of the pig CIA. They're going to have a lot of problems. A lot of people are going to be throwing out the CIA. If you are basically an agent and you're not playing for America, you might have some issues this year. I know you might not disagree, but let me tell you this. Again, let's go back to Trump. COVID was exactly, that's what I was about to say. COVID was founded in a pig year. And again, we have a snake exposing it. We have a snake exposing COVID. It was found in 2019. So again, you see imprinted energy. By the way, the 2 states that fought the hardest against COVID restrictions, Florida and Texas, both founded 1845, year of the snake. Again, COVID pig, snake energy always pushes back.
Let's do Pete Headset. He is, of course, his birthday is June 6th, 1980.
Someone born. So we has the last 2 guys you mentioned were both 3 life paths. So they definitely got a little bit of their agenda as well. But when it comes down to it, I'm going as far as I can, bro.
He's the U.S. Secretary of Defense.
But he's also born in a monkey year. So you do understand that a monkey energy person would be good for a monkey nation. I think he'll serve just fine. Only thing I would say is, I would hope he's loyal to the right people. That's all I'm saying. As long as he's loyal to America and Donald Trump, I think he'll do great. We don't necessarily trust Geminis though.
But he's also a 6, right? And he's got a lot of kids.
Yes.
Let's look up Tom Homan, the border czar
Love that
of
guy.
the United States.
He looks like an ox.
He
looks like an ox.
His birthday is November 28th, 1961.
That's definitely ox.
Is it really?
I think I do this one. Listen, oxes are ruthless. Oxes are ruthless when it comes to getting the job done, man. He will do things by force. He's born on the 28th. He definitely knows how to make his bag. He's a born leader. I like this appointment. I almost like almost everyone here. The one I like the most is the CIA. I like that one. That's a good freaking pick right there.
Yeah. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, November 17th, 1965.
Another snake. Look at that. Trump has a cabinet full of snakes coming to a snake year. I don't think all of these people are going to be in power in 2 years, but for right now, this is perfect. I do think he has a little bit too many females in his cabinet, but when it comes down to it, energy supersedes. So having snakes in the snake year would be very beneficial. When I look at his cabinet,
Extremely diverse.
Not only extremely diverse, what I'm looking at it is you have a lot of people who are going to be very loyal to the man. I see a lot of signs who are going to be very loyal to the man. And if that was Trump's idea, to have a whole bunch of loyal people around him, I think that's a good. I think he picked the right people.
Kristi Noem, Homeland Security Director.
She's too good looking to be in politics.
November.
Simps are voting for her, man. Simps are voting for her,
Keep your dogs
man.
away from her as well.
She's not too bad on the eyes. November 30th, 1971.
She's a pig. She'll be a complete failure.
Okay.
Complete failure. Get her out the White House.
Yeah, we already.
I don't like this pick.
We did Tulsi Gabbard earlier. We did RFK Jr.
Yeah,
earlier.
That's enough.
We have another $127 dollar super chat. Steph, can you read this one?
LM says, hi, everyone. A male and a female partner. Male is on cycle 7. What about the female? Is her LP1 also carry 28 energy?
He gave birthdays. So LM said again, a male, September 17th, 1989.
Well, you know what? How many September 17th have we had today?
No. This is the same. This is a repeat.
Okay, so you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Patrick Mahomes is in the Super Bowl. He's been in a lot of Super Bowl.
A lot.
He is born February 17th. I'm sorry, September 17th. So Patrick Mahomes is born September 17th, been the Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Why? NFL is founded on September 17th. It is what it is. Listen, you're in the 7-year cycle. What else did you want to know?
And a female partner, 05, 07, 1996. Male. He says male is a cycle 7. What about the female? Is her life path 1 also carry 28 energy? This is for a female, 05, 07, 1996. His female partner.
I see what he's saying. You do have some energy there, but it's not pure. None of it's pure. Absolutely none. if you're planning on having a child, again, like I said, after the birthday, not before.
Got it. This was fun, Gary. I have no more kind of people that I want to.
No, let me see if I can do one more.
Let's see if you have any more super
If not,
chats
we're gonna
on your end as well.
we're gonna shut this down.
You have Atlas kind of looking at me, being like, "Hold on, let me put down the the mic flag." She's kind of like looking at me, like, "Man, you're working really hard there." Yes, we definitely are. We got to pay the bills around here since dealing with a lot of crazy attacks from the establishment we've had to deal with.
Hold on.
Let's give Atlas a little. How'd you miss that one? Seriously?
We're live. Hold on.
Again, Atlas, you're disappointing.
Oh my,
me
we
here.
still got quite a few to go. Damn. Hold on. No, did that one. Did that one. We're good. All right, shut it down.
Yeah. Gary, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for everyone who super chatted. Really appreciate you guys. We tried to get into as many of them as we could.
Thank you, Suleiman, for coming.
Suleiman, thank you so much for being here as well. Really
Just having the 33 energy around boosts the energy of the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Even
though I have enough of it myself, a little bit more never helps.
We've been live for 3 hours. And again, this wasn't planned. We were talking. I texted you. I was like, happy 28th.
All right, let's go.
And you're like, let's go. I'm like, hey, I like that energy. I like to work. Let's make it happen. And I'm happy we did.
Notice how the super chats came on the 28th?
Yes, they sure did. And I'm definitely very appreciative of all the support we're getting. We need it, and we appreciate. Thank you so much, Gary. Solomon, where can people find out more information about you? Where can they support you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, which is Sheikh Suleiman, SHAYKH, and then SULAIMAN. And then I've got a YouTube show, although it's on pause at the moment, which is Suleiman Unfiltered. So check me out on YouTube.
Well, awesome. Great meeting you. Great seeing you. Lots of crossover. We disagree on some stuff, but I think we are able to handle it pretty well. And
that's what makes it interesting.
We should definitely have more conversations. Gary, where can people find out more information about you? Where can they support your work?
Baby. All over. Because unlike a lot of clouds, I got millions of followers on TikTok, GG33 Academy. But see, I do a disservice when I only say that because I have so many fan accounts. I have fan accounts with 200,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 300,000 followers. So I can't just say all of them because we'll be stuck here with the birthday thing. But on YouTube, it's GG33 Academy, as everyone knows, because you're watching right now. Not as many people as watching him, but it is what it is. When it comes to IG, it's Matrix Prime _. When it comes down to Twitter, who cares? Because Elon's never going to give me any chance on there anyway. And this is to you, Elon. Mwah, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. Thank you, Steph, for working with us late.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
You had your moment.
Watching.
You had your moment.
I still got questions.
Yeah, we're going to clip that up, man. That she came in pushing all.
When I like what I hear, I have to say something. Like
Awesome.
Specific. When there's something where I feel really
When's your
passionate
year,
about it.
Steph?
Huh?
When's your year?
1990.
No. When is your good year coming?
When's my good year coming? I'm a horse.
So when's that?
What? In like soon? Like 2 years from now? 1 year?
2026.
2020.
So you dominate. You're gonna tell him you're gonna be the A mic in 2026.
I'm okay with that. Steph, you got to take over. I keep telling her, Steph, when are you going to take over? So, Steph, thank you so much for pushing the buttons for us. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. We're going to be working our butt off here. Atlas is ready to go here. All of us are as well. Subscribe, click the notification button, and I'll see you guys on lukeunfiltered.com. Stay tuned for more.
He's happy the
here
Dragon
on this
Year's
channel.
over.
Yeah.
He's so happy the Dragon Year's over. Whoa!